Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes. It's time for the best damn comic book related podcast and YouTube program live right here on the channel, the Comics Aficionados. You'll see it done better. We had a pretty boring week as far as comic books, but at least we had some controversy. We had some news. We had some heated debates going on. And obviously here with me to talk about that are the aficionados themselves. We got a great panel. Oh, before that, I do want to say congratulations to Eric Canetti on his Arc Athena campaign. Ended up hitting $55,000 on Indiegogo. Congratulations on a job well done. That thing looked absolutely fantastic. Now we do have another comic creator here on the panel with us, joining us, gracing us with his presence. The most murderous, homicidal YouTuber in all of comic books. How you doing, Fatal Jay?
Hey, how is everybody doing? Have you ever noticed when it's really slow in comic books, that's the only time you see Fatal Jay on Facebook?
Yes.
Yeah, if we actually talk about comic books, you're fucked.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't read that. What do you mean? What are you talking about?
What's your comic book, Fatal Jay?
Release the Snyder Cut. That's what it's called. Y'all seen everything? No, I'm just playing. It's called Ninja Blast. I'm shipping every week. People are getting their comic books. They telling me they love it. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thanking Critical. I want to thank Wes because Wes helped me to promote that a little bit. I really appreciate everybody who supported. Thank y'all very much. It's a very humbling experience.
Man, you know what the good news is Fatal J, right?
Huh?
No one has already opted out of the channel in the comments yet. Normally they say, fuck it, I'm gone. It's Fatal
Oh,
J.
it's coming. It's coming. They just come.
They haven't seen you yet.
Yeah, they haven't pawned in yet.
It's a slow notification morning because we're only at about 50 watching. Wait until we hit 3 digits and like they're like, nope, fuck it, I'm out.
Again.
We hit like
obviously with the retailer perspective. Oh, I'm sorry, Josh. What were you saying?
Oh, I just said we're gonna hit 120 and then it suddenly drops down to 60.
Yeah.
And Josh, I saw that comment you wrote on me on Twitter.
That's why I said, "Oh no!" when he said we're waiting for you. I was like, "Oh."
Josh, I saw that comment you made yesterday on Twitter. I saw that. You trying to be funny, sir. Okay. Watch yourself. Watch your back.
Also with us today, bringing the retailer perspective from Fantastic Comics in lovely Berkeley, California. Uel Carter, how you doing? Uel.
That's right. I'm in the home of the enemy right now. Yeah, thank you for having me on. I can't wait to talk about comics. Let's get it on.
We're not talking about comics. We're talking about controversy.
Comics,
everything around
controversy. That's what it is.
Absolutely. So next, Kerry, you were supposed to be here last week. You had a little bit of a power outage. What happened?
Transformer went down, so I spent the whole day without power.
Wow.
But
you don't have a generator?
Power on it. I do, but it only works on certain parts of the house.
Oh yeah, I know what you're saying. Well,
most importantly,
welcome back.
air conditioning.
How's everything going? You got anything hot coming up on the channel next? What's going on?
I do have some reviews coming up for manga on Monday. I'm gonna look at Jujutsu Kaisen, which is like a supernatural manga. And then I just got Graveyard Shift in for indie comics, so I'm going to review that for next Friday.
Well, there you go. So definitely check out Nerdygirlcreates if you want to check out those programs. Who else we got on the channel? We got Josh McDonald. How you doing, Josh?
Doing well, man. I'm doing well. Kerry, in honor of your power being out last week, mine went out for like a split second.
Oh.
My lights flashed, I dropped off, and I popped back on. So
I wish that happened to me.
No, man, I'm doing good. I'm happy to be here Saturday morning. Love talking comics, love talking controversies, have a little tea.
Yeah, you back in the groove, right?
I'm back in the groove, man.
Yeah. Obviously, we had a few things to say about Batman this week. And then last but not least, we got a fun This Week at X-Men coming up tomorrow with Doc. And that's about it. How you doing, Doc?
I am wonderful, sir. And it's a wonderful Saturday morning. Let's watch our fucking cartoons.
Well, you got to do DC fandom after this. But first up, we got Kenneth Dowling. Hello, most wonderful panel. Another great Saturday morning talking comics. If any of you are Bond fans thinking of seeing No Time to Die, do yourself a favor and save your money.
I was already planning on that one.
Jeez. Was that bad, Fatal Jay?
Huh?
No Time to Die wasn't good?
Oh, I'm not into James Bond movies. Yeah, I know shocker blasphemy. I'm not into that.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah. So you don't see Bond at all, ever?
No, I did like the ones with what's his name? Brosnan?
Pierce
Brosnan.
Now those, because they were kind of comic booky, they were kind of cheesy. I kind of like those. The Sean Connery once when he was. No, I'm not going to say that because
Roger Moore. That's pretty cheesy, right?
Yeah, didn't they go to space?
Yeah, Moonraker's the cheesiest of cheese.
That's too cheesy, though.
You know what?
That's like Snyderverse cheese, right? That's that Snyderverse cheddar.
I haven't really had much interest in the whole Daniel Craig era of Bond. I like the first one I liked, Casino Royale was all right. But
that movie was born as freak, Doc.
All right, guys, let's talk about comic books. This isn't the Bond aficionados. We're all gonna make ourselves look stupid. Except for Uel, because he's been around, since the franchise started.
It was a true statement.
My point here was just that the whole Daniel Craig era was unnecessarily convoluted, and the whole story that they were trying to tell for this whole time was really dumb.
He's a great looking Bond, though.
He's a good looking. He's a great
all
looking.
of them. I think he looks like a real.
Josh, is he the best looking Bond?
Best looking in terms of believable of what he can do, I'd say sure.
Oh, I was just going for hottest.
Yeah, Sean Connery guy.
Him and
Pierce.
Pierce.
Yeah. Pierce had a dapper thing going on though.
Pierce never gave the feel that he'd actually just straight up murder you.
Yeah, but he definitely looks like he'd drink a martini.
Yeah, but Daniel Craig,
we got Jerome, Dude Mega,
Connery.
Shout out to the family. West Doc, Josh, Uel, Nerdy Girl, Fatal Jay. Enjoy your Saturday. Have fun. You, sir, enjoy your Saturday. I hope you enjoy the battle. And we will get to comic books. I won't let these guys get stuck on Bond. I promise you. It could happen. But we do have the big news that happened this week. We got Fatal Jay wearing the Superman hat. And we have Jon Kent, the new Superman. Not only do we see him, protesting, he recently got arrested as a protest. He's protesting climate change in January. And apparently before that happens, he will be coming out. It has been confirmed. That rumor was out there. He has been confirmed as bisexual. As a big part of the press release from DC Comics to gen up interest in the series, will likely generate some sales. Uel, you are a retailer. Has it generated interest in sales?
It already has, yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And not only that, I've had new people come into the store to ask me about it. And one of the best things that happened with this release, or with this, letting us know about this, is that it's not out next week. There's time for me to adjust my numbers. And I can, I can make it right for everybody that's interested in it, and I don't have to screw myself at the same time, one way or the other, whether ordering more or ordering less. And I really appreciate it. Thank you, coming out by day, for happening when you did. I really appreciate it.
You'll be saying the exact opposite a year from now when sales are at half of what they were before this.
Well, that might be true,
because that's what always happens.
I understand why a lot of people aren't as into activist Superman, but for Tom Taylor, it's still not as bad as his Friendly Neighborhood or X-Men Red, so I'm okay with it.
It's pretty close to Friendly Neighborhood.
It gets skates. It's like he's on thin ice and he's jumping up and down. How's that?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man was rough.
Yeah, we'll get into I'm sure the bisexuality part of it, but this is the only time I'll promote myself. Fantastic Comics has a YouTube channel. We talked about it on Tuesday. Done.
You also have an e-retailer service, right? People want to go in and order a copy.
Yeah, I think it's down right now for convention
don't
purposes.
Go use it then.
But
you search Fantastic Comics in your Google, you'll likely find it. I don't know, Fatal Jay, you are one of the DC aficionados. You are the man behind the Snyderverse. What are your thoughts on these big changes to Jon Kent as the new Superman, as Clark Kent goes off to World to fight Mongol and free slaves?
No one gives a freak about Jon Kent, but I will say this, ladies and gentlemen. I enjoy Super Sons. How did Jon Kent grow up so fast like that? They not doing Super Sons anymore? The Super Sons?
They haven't been doing Super Sons in about 2 years.
Well, see, I'm still stuck in 2019 90s when it comes to comics. So I'm just now getting on Super Sons. I'm enjoying that. That's like one of the best comic books ever from DC. But I don't care about Jon Kent, man. I don't care about Jon Kent at all. I mean, let him do what he want to do. If he want to turn into a flaming tiger, I don't know. Just let him do it. You know.
Nothing.
Right, there you go.
Nothing matters.
I want to ask the panel this though. I want to ask the people this. I'm really curious. Is this a form of clickbait, or is this what is this right here?
This is
the sales spec pumping up in comics, or what?
This is sales bait that has the shelf life of milk.
Wait, people can
it's sales
bisexual longer than that.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about everybody leaving after the novelty wears off really, really fast. Because that's
why he's going to protest something every issue.
No, show me when this hasn't happened. They change a character fundamentally and turn him all activist, keep him that way. And there's an initial spike, and then the new normal after that initial spike wears down is 2/3 to a half of what it used to be. And then the character's dead forever. Good job.
What you're hoping to do is keep the same base level people.
Well,
and then let's say the 10% of new people, you're hoping to get like 2% of them after the fact. And
no, the existing reader base leaves. That's the point.
Mm-hmm.
I think if anybody was reading Superman Son of Kal, they might gonna stay.
You're only 4 issues in, and Tom Taylor's turned into the Tom Taylor that I always knew he was, and all of you, for some inexplicable reason, thought was the deceased Tom Taylor. And so it hasn't had a chance to die yet on the vine. It hasn't had a chance to die on the vine yet.
I'm trying to get to the point. I'm just a simple man trying to make his way through the universe. Is this comic saying, hey, he's gay, buy this? Is that what they're saying?
No.
Let me ask a question.
Saying is buy this.
Let me ask a question. What happened to Iceman after he came out as gay? Have we
now
seen him
that
since?
was big.
He tried to hook up with some dude like immediately. That was like,
I remember when that
but
happened.
what happened to the
huge.
character?
He was
Where is the character now?
Where's the character now? Has he been involved in any major
right
storylines?
In the back of the X-Men bus, like he always deserved.
He shows up once an issue on Marauders to remind you that he's there.
Being gay didn't put him in the forefront anymore. It's just there was enough time for him to like kind of just settle back to where he always was. And I'm sure Perch and Wes and other people have talked about it, that it's very it was very calculated on how who they chose to be gay in the X-Men. And when they outed Iceman, it was kind of like he can always just fall back and it's just like normal. And
so then how's this going to go with Jon Kent? How are they going to keep this going to keep people interested?
Well, hopefully the story's good.
We do have a few super chats we need to get to. First off, we got Lade Kramer. You say like November 2022, this will even matter since, Crisis Superman will be single, Clark, and be busy drinking Starbucks. They certainly have timed this thing well if you're a very cynical person. And I am thinking cynically that, these things are all timed perfectly well within this crisis so they could revert back if they need to. So you're definitely not wrong there. We've got Neostar Productions. I'm all for spreading environmental awareness, but I'm pretty sure there are at least a dozen DC superheroes that can avert any environmental crisis.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's a great point. I think.
None of their planets matter because they have literally an infinite number and they can just move them there.
Yeah.
Mark Miller did this better in Fantastic Four with Brian Hitch, where they built another Earth. I mean,
okay. We also got Get It Dowling. The OG Superman said this was obvious pandering, but if it's driving sales, is it worth it? And sorry for bringing up Bond as too much of a distraction. It's fine. You can bring up Bond.
Just did right now.
I appreciate you throwing a little hurdle out there for me to try and herd the cats back into the cage. So I appreciate the challenge. It will have a sales spike. You're always going to see these things. And certainly that's what they were looking for, Josh. This is a promotional. It seems like it was promotion rather than character progression.
Yeah, I mean, I think Perch honestly said it best when he said this is more performative than thoughtful, and I agree. And it's mainly about how DC's going about it. When I look at Jon Kent, if I'm going to be honest, the thing that upsets me the most about Jon Kent is that they aged him up. So that bothers me more than the whole bisexual thing. But it's this dog and pony show. It's, doing the press release, the fact that they made him Superman, because they knew if they made him Superman, then turned him by, there would be major press releases in New York Times that says Superman comes out. So they knew what they were doing. And you're going to get this spike. You're going to get the speculation around it. People are going to rush in, buy this issue, In
issue number 1, the first appearance of Jay Nakamura.
Yep. I know my local comic shop.
Is it number 2? I'm sorry.
I think it's 2.
Yeah. So my local comic shop, it's very interesting because they had like 2 issues left of number 1, and they had like 8 or 9 of number 2 that were left. And then the 2 started dwindling down, and he got to a point where he had 2 number 1s and 1 number 2. So
yeah,
boom.
So nice. It does create a little bit of a buzz, but I don't know, Josh. As someone who's read a lot of DC comics, we've seen changes that have happened. They almost never even mentioned that that Catwoman is bisexual anymore. Do you think this change sticks?
I think we'll have to wait and see. They're going to have to play it smart. I think one of the other issues with this specifically is they just did it with Tim Drake and haven't actually done anything with Tim Drake in comics. So the fact that they did that, what was it? August, late July, early August
ago. Something.
Yeah, it was like a month and a half ago. But they had Tim come out, made it same dog and pony show. Come look at our circus, pat ourselves on the back. Aren't we great? Diversity. And look, if you don't know me, I'm LGBT, so I'm all about having diversity. I just hate the way they're doing it. But they did that, haven't done anything with them, and now they have another publicity stunt. So it makes it seem extremely disingenuous.
It's stunt. It's stunt bullshit that never. I mean, look, this is no different. It's the same exact philosophy as relaunch with a new number 1. It gives you a short-term bump that turns into a long-term negative every single time. Just show me when it hasn't.
Instead of making great comics, writing great comics, drawing great comics, they're trying to find a new audience
that doesn't exist and doesn't have money and doesn't.
Finding a new audience is not a bad idea, but I think the important thing, like Jay was saying, is good art. Good writing, good story.
But that's what I'm saying, Uel.
You can have a gimmick all the time, but if it's not good inside, who's going to care afterwards?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, there's nothing wrong necessarily with him being bisexual. It's whether or not it's a stinky book. If the people that buy it up read it and go, oh, then definitely, regardless of what happens or how people feel about it, Doc, they definitely will drop the book if it stinks.
Yeah,
but were you reading Superman? Hold on, were you reading Superman Son of Kal, Uel?
Yeah, I'm caught up.
Yeah. What did you think about when he's basically sitting there telling Clark Kent that he's never done anything and he never used his power for good because he never went out there and championed certain causes?
I gotta obviously I didn't read that line. I don't remember that part. I don't remember.
There's a whole conversation that lasts.
I don't remember him like digging in like that, but he definitely.
His dad apologized and he says, "Oh, I never thought I could do stuff like that because I'm not from around here."
Well, he's got a different take, a different point of view, and I don't know. I feel like it's okay. We were kind of bending towards this Superman when New 52 started up. He was Grant Morrison was trying to like play off the old 30s stuff and make him a little bit more anti-corporate and going against stuff like that. It didn't really like last long, but I don't know. I think this plays into old Superman stuff. It's just a little bit different. It's a little bit more now. But
no, but he's sitting there saying Superman never did anything, and Clark Kent's like, "Well, I'm not from Earth, I didn't think I could." And I was like, "That doesn't
just about
like
these one things he did. He saved the Earth.
But
he
doesn't track.
They're downplaying or bringing down Superman so they can elevate Jon Kent like they do with every other normal.
Yeah, well, wait till your kids are teenagers.
What are you trying to say about my children?
Or until they have teenager friends. How's that?
Atomic Hound says, do we want the flagship bi character to have his formative years stolen while being tortured on an isolated asteroid by an allegory of his father? That's essentially what happened to Jon Kent, Fatal Jay, when you catch up to it. He gets marooned in space and tortured for 7 years by evil versions of his mom and dad. That's how they aged him up. I just thought that was atrocious, Josh. It was so awful.
It was bad. Look, just blame Bendis. Like, I need to just get a T-shirt that just says "Blame Bendis." Like
the Blame Bendis YouTube channel.
Yeah,
this is the ones that
you need to do the BB like Daredevil, but just
yes,
that'd be nice.
I love
some letterer out there. Help us
yes. Nightmare X123 random. Will anybody be watching DC Fandom? I'll be keeping up with it, and I will watch the things that seem like I need to speak about them on the channel.
I guarantee I'll be watching Thinking Critical as soon as Wes talks about DC Fandom.
Boom, that's how you do it. What do you bet? You're going to watch DC Fandom, right, Josh? Write an article or two.
I will be working my day job, but Batman News will be covering at least most of the Batman stuff, a few other things. So
there we go. We got Neostar Productions. Captain Atom and Firestorm alone could arguably fix any real-life environmental crisis that could be inserted in a comic. Bottom field anybody. That's
or
absolutely
destroy
a great
it.
point. And in anything in the ocean, you figure that Aquaman can probably take care of that as well. So it's weird when you have these superhero universes and you have these characters that are large in life. They have these power sets. You have these geniuses that can solve any problem. And then when you start incorporating our real world problems into them, they don't fit. And that's why a lot of times it feels awkward. You know what I'm saying, Fatal Jay?
Yeah, I definitely agree.
That's why the Authority was so good. And like it's.
I was just thinking about the Authority.
Yeah.
With Apollo.
Yeah. Well, and they've had gay characters in that. You're right.
Yeah, but it flowed right though. It flowed, you know.
They were characters that happened to be gay, not gay characters.
Right. You're correct. Well, I mean, but as far as like dealing with like environmental stuff or the world, in a what if or in an I can do anything to these character kind of situation, you can actually address these things logically because the governments ain't gonna stand for this. And so that's why I like the Authority in that regard.
We've also got Drew with Comics Elite. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Very generous super chat. Morning, guys. I talked about this with Nerdette on her channel. My concern is that Tom is going to make John another Iceman and focus only on him being bisexual. There will be a little sales bump, but we swiftly dropped afterwards. I think that's everyone's concern, right, Josh?
Yeah.
We've seen this
I mean,
so many times.
It's my concern with Tim Drake as well. It's typically what we see. They become so focused on wanting to pinpoint the fact that they're gay.
They have to
or
establish
bisexual or
their
lesbian.
identity.
Yeah,
the sexual identity.
It's one of the things, like, especially when I lived in Los Angeles, I would get in arguments with other gay people about how I live my life and what I choose to do with my life. Because a lot of people were, you know, like, hey, look, I'll say Rainbow Warriors, and I don't mean that in a negative way, but they were about just really pushing, you know, gay ideas and gay agendas. And again, not necessarily agendas in a bad way, but they led their life with the main thing of who they are is that they're LGBTQ. My thing is I'm a man who happens to be gay. So for me, it's just different. Like if you ask me who am I or what defines me, I don't want gay to be in my top 10 of my list. I want other things to be there. And then gay can just be an element that's down there.
How high is Texas A&M on your list?
It's pretty high. I'm not gonna lie.
About just 4
subgroup Texas.
I'll be honest.
Very prideful,
my rugged good looks are absolutely in the top 2. You know what I'm saying? Of what defines me as a person. So, but I think that's everyone's concern, right? Yeah. Kerry, is that he's no longer going to be a character that we're going to lose character progression in every other area at the expense of only, you know, pushing this aspect of the character's life.
It's kind of like, I think they forget like what people relate to when it comes to comic books. I want to read a comic book about a superhero saving the day, and all this other stuff should be like secondary. He just happens to be gay. It shouldn't be like, look, he's gay, and then that's it. There's no other story to the character.
Yeah, I'm with you. There's nothing wrong with being fabulous every once in a while, but you still got to go save some people. You know what I'm saying?
He'll just be saving people at
Pride Parade.
Pride parades, yeah, exactly.
What is the 5th story after this? That's what I want.
Some environmental
what do they do?
concern.
Yeah, I know. So
well, hopefully it's his father returning and being like, "Wow, you destroyed the Earth trying to implement your tyrannical plan."
And then
and then you're right, Dad. I should have done that.
And then Superman goes and flies around the Earth, like the sun, like a lot to go back in time and kick the shit out of his kid.
Now, if you recall that in Future State, he shrinks down Metropolis to like Brainiac size in a wrong think way to like save them from the government or something like that, if I remember correctly.
He's also dating Yara Flor in Future State.
Yeah, I do. Like they're at least So there's a lot of life to go with this character, and I just kind of hope that in addition to him taking a backseat or stories being taken in the backseat, that he also doesn't just lose this aspect just because sales aren't good. We'll just make him with ladies again. It's like
exactly.
I hear that when you are bisexual, you might go from one partner to another to figure out who you want to hang out with the most.
We have Wolfstein 3D, who has some of your concerns there, Uel. He says the number 7 cover, which obviously came out in the solicitations, has Superman on strike for climate change. They will check every progressive checkbox one after the other and then relegate the character. That's kind of like what it feels like, Uel, is when I'm reading Superman Son of Kal-El. I'm not reading Superman Son of Kal-El like the character Jon Kent. I'm reading like Tom Taylor's Twitter feed and how he feels about issues, and he's using Jon Kent rather than typing it up and putting out a tweet. He's using Jon Kent's mouth to put these issues at the forefront.
These are he has his recurring themes that he throws in most of his comic books, and I think that's why we like his what ifs or Elseworlds more, because he doesn't have enough time when he's just killing people off. What about Nightwing? I haven't been reading that. That one's been okay, right?
Nope, he's an activist there too.
He basically said all billionaires are bad, and he's going to use all of the money that he got from Alfred to save the city.
Yeah, well,
also
maybe hire a butler since Alfred was. Maybe like keep it going or something.
What do you say, Fatal Jay? It looks like you wanted in on this bad boy.
What about Nightwing?
Oh. No, you were doing this. Like, I need in here, bro. I need in. Put me in, coach.
No, man, I'm enjoying the conversation, man. I don't need to put my input in.
What's wrong with that? I'm glad you're excited.
You know what I can't...
This is for Josh. We got a question for Josh. If I was writing a book about Nightwing and Starfire being parents to Nightstar, how can I make you interested and keep you coming back?
I mean, look, I as a reader, I'm very character driven. So if you give me in-depth characters and I have a main story arc that's the plot, and then you give me 2 or 3 subplots that are character based that run throughout the title as well, I'm probably going to be interested. Just make sure, I always say in my reviews, work your story, have motivations that make sense, and just plan it out, map it out. Get yourself a tight story and you're good.
Give the characters something that they have to think about. That whatever you've established is their moral code, that makes them think, well, this is right in the middle. Which way am I going to go?
Yeah. And look, what I will say is, like, what they're doing with Jon Kent, what they're doing with Tim, there's a better way of doing this. You can do this with some nuance. And I'll even give Tom Taylor some credit. He had a lesbian character, a trans character, and another LGBTQ character in his Suicide Squad run. And they never made a big to-do about it. They were just characters that were there. And they became some of my favorite characters, not because they were gay, but because they were interesting. There wasn't this hyper focus on their sexuality. It was just, right. They would mention these characters and that they were that. And then they would touch on some of the struggles they had, but mostly it was about them just trying to live their life and move forward. And I found that interesting.
Heavily edited old Tom Taylor before he had sales to back him up is not actual Tom Taylor.
That wasn't that long ago, though, Doc.
And he had 0 sales to back him up to get free of
nonetheless, Suicide Squad was a good book.
Yeah,
I did enjoy it.
Yeah, I was upset that it got cut short.
Get It Dally is also in here. Yeah. I'm in the Josh McDonald. Everybody's on the Josh McDonald train. Great.
This is the I Love Josh show. See what happens when you make a heel turn?
Well, as long as nobody's in the Fatal J camp, I'm good with it. I'm sorry, Batman the animated series. I never saw it. So you guys are gonna have to forgive me eventually.
Bro, hold on. Wait. You can't just say that because
we did this last week, Jay. Nope. We already did this last week.
Talk about it.
Not doing it again.
That's blasphemy.
Yes, we know.
Right, that's not how you use the word. That's not even what it means. Get out of here. As a black comic lover, I would like more black-brown characters. I'm not for race swapping, turning traditional white heroes black to earn points. I think that's where a lot of people come in on this stuff. There are a lot of LGBTQ characters within the DC universe that are just sitting there not being used. We don't even have Batwoman in a comic book right now.
Nope.
That seems like a pretty prominent character. You see Renee Montoya sometimes, but they never prominently portray that character either. There's plenty of characters that are LGBTQ representative that they're not using. And the same thing with minority characters as far as black superheroes, Latino superheroes. They just don't use them.
Can't piggyback on somebody else's superior sales history if it's your own unique character.
And at least at Marvel, when they do use minority characters, Bendis is just killing them off. Bummer.
Yeah, so that he can replace them.
I need my swap now.
Blame Bendis.
Nightmare X123 says Fatal is in 2 hours, by the way, so we will definitely try and get this thing finished. I thought it was in 3 hours, but either way, we'll try and get this thing finished.
I can save everybody the trouble. The only thing that's going to be incredible is the Batman trailer.
What about the Snyder Cut universe, the special announcement that they're going to make, Fatal Jay?
You think the Erik Cut they're gonna announce it on DC Fandom?
Well, I think you should watch and see.
Hey man, that would be incredible. So
you could have it.
I might.
If there is, I'm gonna be watching your channel, Fatal J, for that video.
But I told people, a lot of people thought I was tripping right after the Snyder Cut was announced. I was telling people the Erik Cut is coming too, and they, dude, you're stupid. You're getting greedy. How about you stop talking about this stuff and shut up? Told you guys the Erik Cut is coming too.
I am in the camp. The dude, you're stupid. They got a point.
I gotta say that there could technically be two versions of an Erik Cut. One that is just completely airs, and one that was after the changes. So after they made him make changes, they filmed everything. Mm-hmm. It's done. There's a complete
cut with the score and everything.
Yeah,
I guarantee you have to do nothing to it.
Well, I guarantee you, at some point within the next year to 2 years, it will come out. Just because HBO Max is going to need something new and fresh to post. Yeah.
Yep. Content.
Super Camp 1721. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Very generous. I have no problem, Jon Kent, with being bi. It is the quality of the story that counts. Yeah. I am with you. Besides the real 10-year-old Jon Kent is somewhere in space. Also, hashtags restore the Snyderverse. That feels like that's support for Fatal J.
Yes, sir.
Get out of here. But I'm with you. The Superman Son of Kal story is really bad. I do not like the way that he's portrayed John in there. Doesn't feel like the character, and the fact that they aged him up really has been detrimental to the growth of John as a character. We got Leg Graber. My question, if this sticks with Tim and John being bi, will they ever be allowed to date a female character like Stephanie or Yara or Saturn Girl?
No.
No, I think so.
Yeah. No, it's gonna happen.
Buying comics means used to be straight, now is gay, and will never date straight again. Sorry, that's what buying comics means.
I think. See, then you're not really
bisexual.
I know,
and not only that, but then you're not really being honest with what you said this person is. You didn't come out and say he's gay. He came out on coming out bi day.
It's their way of because they saw what happened with Iceman. We literally saw his thoughts for 50 years.
Right.
And there wasn't the slightest hint of him being gay in those thoughts. And we've seen Tim Drake's thoughts for a long time. We haven't seen Jon Kent's because they kind of got rid of thought bubbles. But this is a way of them hiding and excusing, because they saw what happened with Iceman. We knew his thoughts for 50 years. We knew that whenever they said, "Oh, he's gay," we all said, "Yeah, that's bullshit. We know his thoughts." And they can't do the same because everybody rejected it. So all they did was they want to make Tim gay. They want to make John gay, but because we've seen them date women, right, like a lot in some cases.
Yeah, like Tim, right?
Yeah, in we've seen them date a lot of women. And they saw what happened to the reaction to Iceman. They said, well, he's bi. He'll just never date a woman again.
But remember how systematic they are in who they choose. You know, Tim Drake was an easy one, kind of like Iceman. You know, this is the guy that doesn't have his own book. We could push him in the back, you know.
The Robin everyone forgets.
Right, Robin that everybody forgets. He's not even called Robin anymore. You know,
it's the one that had the longest ongoing solo series. How is it the Robin everybody
read Robin at any time?
Because he's the one that's not interesting. You got Nightwing, you got Red Hood, and you got Davey.
He had
I'm not saying not interesting, but they don't know what to do with him. And that's
right now.
That I will tell you.
And it's
Tim Drake is a great character. They don't know what to do with him.
Yeah, because they added Damian for no reason when they already had Tim, and they brought back Jason for absolutely no reason.
No, nonetheless, I think that they should vacillate for a while between, until they settle on a chosen partner, if
this
they
would
ever
require
age to that, part.
This would require competent writing. They don't have that.
Well,
all right, Doc, you don't even read DC.
Yeah.
Hey, look, the only thing I am waiting for is the Superboy or Superman Son of Kal-El, red and blue, and one of them's gay and one of them's straight. And I'm going to be interesting.
That would be an interesting change.
And then they can kill the other one. Whichever one it is, I don't care.
Man.
All right, fellas, I do want to interject here. I do want to say, if you were watching the video and you're enjoying the panel, even though Fatal Jay is joining us today, we've got 54 thumbs up right now. We've got 220 live viewers. So if we can get that up to 100, I would really appreciate that. If you're not enjoying Fatal Jay, give us a thumbs down. We don't mind that as well. I do take those things into consideration.
I'd
as far as
appreciate
future appearances.
Up. I mean, I can't understand how it's not there already.
Yeah, absolutely. We got Yellow Spider-Man saying Superman Peace on Earth already did this better.
Well, that's the Alex Ross one, right? Is that right? Maybe I'm wrong. I can't remember. I guess I didn't read it. I'll agree with you.
Yeah, I'm having a fog as well. I think it's one of those things that I felt.
It is Alex Ross
reading. I'm like,
oh
yeah, I've read it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, those were coming out. I kind of poo-pooed Alex Ross back in the day because his, was so readily available. Now that you don't see him as often, except in covers, it's different. But those panels, those page-long panels that he did, and the Paul Dini stuff, it's okay. It's just not the greatest, I don't think.
We've also got Kenneth Dalek. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Very generous. This is what I mean when you talk about the genius of Denny O'Neil. He used social and political issues in his comics to enrich the medium of superhero stories. These writers today just want to preach politics and not utilize the medium. And I 100% agree with that one. As a retailer, Uel, and a comic book fan, is this the way that you're interpreting comics a lot of times nowadays?
The opposite of Denny O'Neil, yes.
Because there's no subtlety, there's no conflict, there's no presenting the ideas and letting the reader think. It's just boom.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to go back to my past where I'm thinking of like Denny O'Neil and Chris Claremont. Chris Claremont would always bring like matters of religion in the story. And one person's having a conversation that doesn't necessarily agree, or Kitty Pryde's Jewish, and that kind of stuff. And Denny O'Neil, his stuff, like in the Green Arrow, Green Lantern, that's what we're normally talking about when we talk about his politics and comics, or his commentary. A lot of that stuff still is very much relevant today, and it doesn't feel like it's out of time. And it's not sure. There's some cringe, as anything is when you're looking at your dad's things, or your mom's things, I'm sure. But overall, it's just really well done. And, you have to be able to stand the test of time if you're going to be a really good writer, comic book artist, whatever it is.
Yeah, that's the problem. There's not a lot of timeless comics. We do have Rob Biller coming in, says fandom is at 10 Pacific, 1 Eastern. So I was right. It's more like 3 hours from now.
I want to address somebody in the chat, John Willis. It is pretty much obvious at this point that I am a disciple of Zack Snyder. If you want to call it a cult, yes, I am a part of the cult, and he is the leader. Thank you, sir.
What?
How high on the ladder have you joined that cult?
Really?
Have you paid in a?
I drunk the Kool-Aid years ago when I seen the movie 300.
Damn,
Man, I hate that movie. I just like his, what is it, Dawn of the Dead? That's the only movie he's made that I like. The Owl movie, I was so excited about that. That Owl movie looked like it was going to be great. Fantastic visuals, and you go and watch it, you're like, wow, a really bad Owl movie. Like, how do you do this one? There you go. We got Kenneth Dowling. What they're doing with Elektra in the upcoming Daredevil Woman Without Fear is the right way to do it. She has history with Matt. They fought together. They fought each other. She earned the right to wear the mantle. I'm enjoying Elektra as Daredevil. I'm not enjoying Matt being in prison, but I thought that's been quite enjoyable. You've been reading that one, right? Right, Uel?
I read some of it. I read when he went back into prison and she donned the costume.
Yeah, it feels like a natural progression. She has similar skill sets. You know, she has a history with Matt. You know, it feels like a character that could take over the mantle on a limited basis.
You know, the thing is like as time goes on, the characters that maybe we were kind of like poo-pooing, they've been around and they've done things, and now we maybe have changed our perspective on them. As Carol Danvers came in and was Captain Marvel, more people like Captain Marvel Monica Rambeau than I've ever seen in my life. Darn, if only y'all liked her when she was in the Avengers. It would have sold better. You know, it's just the way it is.
Are you blaming the fans, Uel? Are you blaming the fans for what happened with Carol Danvers?
You're fickle comic book, except for Doc. That guy will stick with the X-Men through thick and thin.
That's
even
hilarious.
now as he's blasting,
we did a video today. He was like, "I'm out of the X-Men." I was like, "No, you're not." He's like, "Yeah, I am." I was like, "You never stick with that." And he goes, "Yeah, I did. I did when I." He goes, "Oh, no, I did." And I was like, "Yeah, you always come back."
I even God bless it. I read an Excalibur issue.
Oh, that's rough. Was anyone else reading Daredevil? Was it just Uel and me? Probably.
No, I'm reading it. I agree. I've talked about this before. Yeah, I think it's a solid book. I think Chip Zdarsky's doing a really good job. I think Daredevil in general is probably one of the most consistent titles that you can rely on to at least enjoy. But yeah, I've talked about this before. I think when you want to initiate things, whether it's new characters or change to a character, I think it tends to be absorbed or taken in by readers better when you do kind of like this backdoor pilot type thing. And it's pretty much what they're doing with Elektra. You know, they slipped her in. She's been in Daredevil, operating as Daredevil for how many issues now? It's about 9 issues, I think, at this point. Yeah. So, and then she's going to have her own kind of like little spinoff series as well. I think this is the best way to go about it. I wish they would do this more.
Absolutely. We also got Rolo with the bringing in the euros, or I'm sorry, the pounds from the UK. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, Rolo. Remember in that comic when Pink Kryptonite turned Superman gay? Imagine if Jay dyed his hair in that to control John and make him do all that activism. Now that would be one hell of a plot twist. If he had Pink Kryptonite hair dye.
Oh man, that would.
What do you think, Kerry? I would like that, wouldn't you?
I could see how well that would go with a certain audience.
Yeah,
I was like, I was wrong. Tom Taylor's killing it.
Well, we definitely.
It needs
to be some. He needs a sensitivity reader if he's going to write that. How's that? Like camp like that. Isn't that what, like, you know, the outdoors, wear it on your sleeve, being gay is all about anyway? Pink Kryptonite would be pretty funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, we got Dark Animal March here listening along while doing a comic shop crawl for my buddy's birthday. It's our second year doing it. Could you give my buddy Ryan a birthday shout out? Happy birthday, Ryan. I hope you're having fun with Dark Animal March here on your birthday crawl across the comic shops. I hope you find some winners out there and some real gems in those dollar bids.
Yeah.
What should we be looking out for today, Uel? You're a comic book retailer. What's hot right now that people might not know about?
Well, if you didn't know about Superman Son of Kal,
number 2,
you're gonna meet John's boyfriend for the first time. I don't know. I guess it depends if you're into like 70s, 80s, or today. Kind of, everything in between. Find a creator that you like that you didn't know what they did before. But now that I'm saying this, look for Breach. It's Breach, and it's written by Tom DeFalco, I think. No, it's not Tom DeFalco. It's Bob Harris. And it has art by Javier Pulido, and it's freaking amazing. And it's weird and out there, and it's like only 10 issues because nobody cared. So that should be in a dollar bin for sure. Breach.
Absolutely. And if you can find some Chuck Austin era X-Men, jump on that and do not let that out of your sight.
There was that time when Angel bled on people to cure them, if I remember correctly.
Of AIDS, yes.
Here, I've healed you.
Yes, I remember that.
Horrible.
We've got Joe M. And happy birthday once again to Dark Admiral March Herod Ryan on your. It's not a pub crawl. It's
comic
an LCS crawl. I like
it.
Man, I wish I could do that. There's no comic shops here. Joe M. asks, Wes, was Danielson Suzuki Danielson's second 5-star match? Now, that came on this morning while my children were up. I do not get to watch television when the kids are around. I have to watch cartoons, whatever they want to watch. So I'm going to watch it after the show today. But I hope that it is. What did you think, Uel?
It was a very good match. And it was refreshing for the first time in my life to see Minoru Suzuki actually be able to wrestle someone. They still did that stiff shot where they don't sell stuff towards the end of the match, but at least they didn't start off with it and they actually wrestled. I'm going to say 4 stars. That's what I'm going to say.
Well, we all know that Uel Carter absolutely hates AEW. He likes sports entertainment. And he hates he doesn't like professional wrestling. He likes sports entertainment. So likely with the downgrade from Uel liking the entertainment aspects more, it's probably a 5-star match.
Well, when you give easy scores, it's a 5-star match. If you're Dave Meltzer, it's a 7-star match. He was Japanese.
You can only get 7 stars if you're
in Japan. Kenny, that's right. Not fighting a Japanese.
Yeah, Kenny Omega in Japan,
that's
you
right.
can get a 7-star match.
Exactly.
The fact that Brian did, I'm not going to get into that, but
he's
I cannot wait to watch. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Nightmare X123. I feel like the idea of the mantle was made, bastardized to strip characters of legacy and give them to lesser characters for ideological purposes. Mm-hmm. I think that's what they're doing now, but I don't think originally. I think they would pass mantles along because you needed a Batman, but you wanted to kill, right?
Yeah.
Well,
so somebody would have to step
Azrael.
up. You got to have a Thor in your Avengers, but you want to kill off Thor Odins. So you got to have Throg.
Yeah, I think the difference is the intention. So if you go back to like when Barry passed the mantle of Flash to Wally, the idea was that Barry was gone, Wally was going to be the new Flash, and it was going to be that way for decades. And now it's not. Now it's like a sales gimmick and a publicity stunt, and within a year it's usually reverted. If not a year, then at the most 5 years, and then it's reverted. And they're doing it so often and so frequently that people just don't care. They don't believe it. And I think the other bad thing about this, sorry, I'm ranting. The other bad thing about this too, though, is we have so many characters of minority now that they're trying to do this with to boost them up. But it's like, if you take someone and make them Captain America or make them Batman or make them whatever, we know that they're going to get reverted back. So you're not giving them anything to stand on really on their own. You're just giving them that platform and then dropping them back down. Just build them up as their own character.
It's like Doc said earlier with the name recognition and the sales.
Yeah.
They want what comes with that name.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's going to be a top 10 list eventually. That's top 10 flashes of all time. You're going to have Barry Allen number 1. You're going to have Wally West number 2, and whoever else you gave it to. They're like, oh yeah, I remember that guy was the Flash 5 years ago for 10 seconds. It just kind of makes him a footnote.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I mean, you can look at what's currently happened to Sam Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
All of his uniqueness is gone.
Mhm.
All of it. He's now
You don't even see him in Marvel anymore.
No, well, and when you do,
he's on a road trip right now.
Yeah, like, I mean, but look at him. He's no longer his own character. He's just the other guy people fight about should be, whether or not they should be Captain America. He's not Falcon anymore. He has no identity. Right. He's just somebody to fight about if they should be Captain America or not.
Yeah.
That's it. So good job.
Admiral March Hair says, thanks everybody, obviously, for the birthday shout outs and the comic book crawl. And thanks for the suggestions. I hope you go happy huntings, and we hope that you guys find some great comic books out there. All right, Jay Garrick is number 1. There you go. I don't know, Fatal Jay. What do you think about all these changes? Are you a fan of what DC Comics have done? They've essentially taken Superman, they've jettisoned him off the world. They're taking Bruce Wayne. He's leaving Gotham, so Jace Fox can be the Batman in Gotham. Arthur Curry is retiring as the Aquaman to be a stay-at-home dad, so Jackson Hyde can become the new Aquaman. Essentially, all the Green Lanterns have been depowered except for JoJo and Teen Lantern. They just essentially jettisoned all the original heroes out and replaced them with new heroes, all basically within 6 months of each other.
Josh said it right, though. They trying to put reality into comics. I'm not reading comics for reality. I'm reading comics to escape reality. So no, that's dumb to me. I just don't understand that these writers, these new age writers coming in to try to make it all realism and bring in more fans and audience. It's stupid.
But isn't that what the Snyderverse does? Don't they just
reality-based Superman? That's why it's awful.
Bullshit?
No. It just shows the dark side of being a hero.
Oh, the dark side. Like, I haven't seen that before. Let's get to those comic book trips now.
Okay, but now everybody is ranting and raving about, oh, this new Batman trailer is coming out. Oh, it's so dark. I can't wait for it to come out. Zack Snyder did it, and it was terrible.
Okay.
Remember that? Oh, he's making Batman dark? I can't believe it.
Well, I think everyone said the only redeeming factor about Batman versus Superman was Batman himself.
Yes.
Wasn't that what happened, Josh? Did I misremember that?
People enjoyed Batman. I think it's because he had the most exciting scenes, but there were plenty of people that did not like his take on Batman. I will say, because that came out, I think, in like May or June that year. And then when we reached July at Comic-Con, there was 3 of us there for Batman News, and we had press badges, and it says Batman News. God, I can't tell you how many people walked up and they're like, yo, Batman v Superman was awesome, right? And we're like, no, we did not like it. Just
people's biggest complaint about that movie was that Batman was killing people. That too. They was talking about Batman killing people.
This is my complaint.
You guys haven't seen Michael Keaton's
Why
Batman?
would you say that name? Why would you say that name? Martha.
I will say the best thing about Batman v Superman was Wonder Woman.
Yes.
Like, she came in, energy changed. Like, it was the smallest things too. Yeah, she's like fighting Doomsday, and he like shoots a blast at her, and she blocks it. And then she has this moment of being like, she smirks. She's like, oh, this is going to be fun. She doesn't say it, but you see it in her face. Like, Wonder Woman was great. Wes, I do think we need to like figure out the timestamp and just take a clip of this recording when Fatal Jay said Zack Snyder tried that and it was bad. And we need to like push that and be like, Fatal Jay's a fraud. He doesn't really love Snyder.
When I said that, I knew somebody was going to clip it. I said, dang, I slipped up. I shouldn't have said it like that. But I was talking in the perspective of the people who don't like Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
Everybody know I'm a big Zack
Snyder. Why are you trying to talk to me, Fatal Jay? You can ask me why I hate the movie. I'll tell you.
No, but this is the thing right here. You can't use that against me because I got to release the Snyder Cut shirt on.
No one's ever infiltrated a movement to try and destroy it from within.
Damn, I know. Yeah, never. He's been there since day one, but he's there to destroy it.
Yeah.
Yes. It's not what it used to be, Uel. It's not the same.
I tell you, man, the people that are for Zack Snyder just aren't into it like I was back in the day. They're not in it for the same reasons.
Hey, I don't care what y'all say. That Martha scene was genius.
Why did you say that name?
I never connected.
Why would you
the
say
two.
that
No,
name?
no.
Because I never did
Martha.
realize they mom was the same name.
Me
I mean,
either.
I'm sorry.
Of course, I didn't
Maybe
see the movie.
Maybe I'm a simpleton. Maybe I'm a simpleton, but that was genius.
Maybe.
I never
I usually
thought
call mom or ma or whatever, not by their name. But I don't know what the context of the movie was.
Martha.
Why do you say Martha? I don't understand.
Because Batman is about to murder Superman, and he
And
goes,
he screams his mom's name all the time.
You
when he
gotta
does
save
that?
Martha.
No,
And
because
Batman's
because Lex was
why
going
would
to
you say
kill
that
Martha.
name?
Oh,
Why would you say that
I
name?
see.
and then he realized she has a mother.
Wow.
And they have the same. Their mommies have the same name.
Doesn't that sound powerful, Uel?
if somebody got an iron foot on your neck, I mean, if you about to
Listen.
kill somebody,
Hey, if
and
I want to bring
somebody still go-
reality into something, I'm going to bring my mom into it, okay?
if you killing somebody and they say your mom name right before they die, you wouldn't stop to see what's going on.
No,
Somebody
I would
would have
shoot
been
a
like-
killing machine. I was in the military.
Beverly.
Stop.
And I'd be like,
Get
what?
out of here, Fatal Jay.
Who the hell's named Beverly anymore?
I would have
That's the second cringiest moment in Zack Snyder history after the Hallelujah scene from Watchmen.
I would have
I
accepted.
became the Undertaker for a week. My eyes got stuck in the back of my head. Jesus.
I would have accepted the Martha moment more if Batman's reaction would have been like, "What'd you say about my mama?" But
My mom like stabs him.
That's right. Never
my
got
mother?
the rest out.
Superman died.
Okay,
So-
in defense, and I know you need to get to the super chat, but in defense, I will say this. I will play the advocate right here. I never agree with the ending of Batman versus Superman bringing Doomsday out. I never agree with that because I feel like if you're going to bring Doomsday out, that should be its own movie. It should be the Devil Superman movie. So I'm not 100% biased on this. I agree.
No, you're not biased at all. You're just an open-minded thinker about Zack Snyder's work. We've got Yellow Spider-Man here, who's probably less biased than Fatal Jay says. The legacy mantle passing thing is a lame, lazy excuse to recycle IPs and not come up with anything new. MHA has legacy heroes, but all they have are different names. There's no black, gay, female, All Might.
Right.
My Hero Academia. Obviously, you're the manga person. Get in there, Kerry.
Yeah, no, that everybody's got their own name. All Might passes down his power, but the main character Midoriya doesn't inherit the name All Might. He comes with his own name, Deco. And there's a female
Kind of
character
like
that just
Rodimus Prime, remember? He didn't become Optimus Prime when he became the leader of the Transformers.
No, he just
Man, I
became
love
a
My
Prime.
Hero Academia.
Yeah.
That is an incredible show. If you like wrestling, West, you will like that show.
Yeah.
Do I like wrestling?
I'm just
It's
saying. I said
it's
if
professional
you like,
wrestling, Jay.
if you
I'm not a
like
hillbilly,
wrestling, you
okay?
will like My Hero Academia.
If you like comic books, you'll like My Hero Academia.
I agree.
What if I don't like the Snyder Cut? Will I like My Hero Academia?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay. That's the real litmus test.
Yeah.
Kenneth Dalek says, for my last chat in regards to Chip Zdarsky, I read some Batman Urban Legends. Great stuff. He's doing Batman the Night. I know you said that's territory is covered too much, but I think he can do it. I agree with you. He can do it. But why even go there? You're never going to top Batman year one. Chip Zdarsky is a fantastic writer. Let him do something different.
Yeah, I don't think the intent is to top or replace Batman Year One. I think, especially what we see at Batman News, we have a lot of people asking us questions. Are there stories of him actually getting his training? And yes, there are. I think it's like the Detective Comics Annual number 2, maybe, that it's him training with the detective. And there's all these issues or annuals or pieces of issues that touch on it, but it's not anything that DC could really put together and publish as a whole, like a collection. So I think their intent with this is having something that's a collection. So I think we're going to see ground retread, some of it modernized, but put together that way. If people are interested in seeing that specific, like how did he learn to do all these things before he returned to Gotham, it'll give them that.
Yeah, I just think it's been covered before. I get it.
It has.
I like Chip Zdarsky. We're going to get into this a little bit more here. I got an entire section about this. But thank you very much for supporting the channel. We've also got Neostar Productions, the brilliant star that shines through the night, the sharp thorn in the side of evil. Rizerman is behind Fatal Jay's couch.
Thank you so much. I love this couch. I got it for free.
Dumpster diving?
Yeah. Hey, dumpster diving is life. Do you know how much stuff is in my house because I dumpster dive? Go behind Walmart. Let me give you a life lesson on thinking critical. If you want stuff for free, what you do is go behind your local Walmart or go behind your local GameStop. Go in the dumpster. They throw away brand new stuff. Yeah, I'm a professional dumpster diver.
Well, where do you go for food?
Dumpsters.
He's a
freak. Where do you go for the food in the dumpsters?
Yeah,
So you got the Dunkin' Donuts?
Right there.
Jay's actually a freegan.
Well, he's got kids. He's got to do something, man.
I understand. Yeah.
Did you just hear what I said, sir? The dumpsters is a way of life. We are so rich in America. We throw away so much stuff, so much food, so much. I don't got free video games out of dumpsters.
Yeah, you're right.
Support your local dumpster. Support your local comic book shop and support your local dumpsters.
Support your local comic store. Get them a clean dumpster. Is what you're saying.
For all of Tom Taylor's comics.
Fatal Jay goes to Arby's, and that's where he gets dinner. In the dumpster. That's a good place. If I was going to go dumpster diving for food,
y'all don't like
I'd be
Arby's?
going for that big.
If I was going for Arby's, that's where I'd go. The dumpster.
No, dumpster Arby's is probably just as good as McDonald's hamburger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear you there.
Arby's
So you
is
see
delicious.
It's conflating. It's not important there. McDonald's ain't the key. It's Arby's.
With Arby's, it's a mixture of. It's like a healthy Subway sandwich, or you eat a McDonald's burger, so you combine it all together.
There ain't nothing healthy about a Subway sandwich. They put like styrofoam in their bread, dude.
You know that's actually fast. They put glue in their bread.
Yeah,
you know
whatever. It's like they've got chemicals in there that make your shoes.
That's perfectly fine. That's why the bread tastes fresh all day long. But Arby's is absolutely healthy. Because it's roast beef, and roast beef is good for you.
Yeah,
unless you you get that delicious cheese sauce.
We are not fast food aficionados this week. Come on.
Yes. Oh wait, what is this? A Tini Howard?
He said that's why I stay fresh all day long.
Oh, my goodness. Kenneth Dowling says this is pretty smart here, Kenneth. Wes, I agree. You agree with me? It sounds like you're going down the right path, sir. Batman Year 1 is the definitive Batman starting point. Year 0 tried to map his training out also. Yes, and it failed miserably because you're going into uncharted territory where things have already been established.
That one,
I think.
Not good.
Have we talked about the Jon Kent stuff enough? We got a few other topics to get to. Are we done with this?
Yeah, we way done with that, man.
I mean, issue 5 hasn't come out, so remember, everybody, go to your comic store now if you want to join in. I mean, this is a thing. This is a happening. You might as well. This is the one comic you're going to care to take a look at, and you might as well make your local comic store some money.
And while as much as I love making Uel money, don't buy this bullshit. Look, seriously.
Tell your friends.
You have to financially punish these companies for doing this stupid bullshit over and over again. Mm-hmm. Or else they won't fucking stop.
Will they? Will they stop?
Yeah. So, Doc, what you're saying is you're on board with the idea.
Sure, whatever.
Hey, you know what? This is my ending. They're not going to stop because it's just going to be something different later on. And we might not know initially until we see it for the 15th time that's the new initiative, whatever that is. But it will happen again, whatever it may be.
And I will finish by saying, ha ha ha, fuck you all. I was right about Tom Taylor for like the 1,000th time.
Damn.
There you go. That'll do it, folks. We're on to a new topic. We had Steven DeKnight, the showrunner behind Netflix's Daredevil. He also did Spartacus. I think he was the showrunner, the writer, everything kind of on that one. He's done some other big projects. He's been dabbling in Marvel Comics for a little while. He's going to be doing some Wastelanders one shots, and he was notified or reminded that 20 years ago, when C.B. Cebulski was writing manga for Marvel Comics, they're all Marvel, he used a pseudonym, like a pen name, that was more appropriate for the Japanese audience. He used it's called Akira Yoshida. And it came back up, I think, in 2017 when it was 2018, whatever he was announced as a new EIC at Marvel. People planted that information out there to discredit him, try and, basically cut his nuts off from him before he even got started. And someone reminded DeKnight again this week about this, and he has said, unless C.B. Cebulski is fired, he's out of there and he has quit Marvel Comics because he cannot stand for this. Doc, this thing has been going on for 20 years. He was already reprimanded by the company that hired him to do it, as if Marvel didn't know he was using a pseudonym or a pen name to publish books in Japan under their promotion. Like, they signed the checks to him.
Yeah, the company knew that he was doing this. Like, Joe Quesada knew he was doing this. Joe Quesada let him do it. He did a bunch of books in the US. He did a bunch of books in Asia with this. Hey, Steve, by the way, I hate to break it to you, Charlie Cox, not actually fucking blind.
This is true.
So you're used to, literally your job is to work with people that play pretend all day, and you're mad that a man played pretend about his name. Charlie Cox's name wasn't Daredevil. It wasn't Matt Murdock. He played pretend too. You don't seem to have a problem with that.
I do think there's a difference, though.
Well, does he have a problem?
No, time out. Yeah. Because no one's going into a movie thinking, wow, this guy jumping rooftop to rooftop is actually blind. Whereas Marvel really tried to push this as, hey, here's, an ethnic person that we have writing for us. We're going to push him. He's doing great. Let's pat ourselves on the back. We're going to, there's a big difference here. Like, there's a difference there.
I mean, I guess to some degree, but I mean, honestly, it's
to a big degree.
It's a pseudonym. It's a pen name. Does he bitch about female writers that wrote under male pen names? Does he bitch about male writers that write under female pen names to do romance books? Does he bitch about Joe Hill not using Stephen King's, last name? Any of this? It's a common practice in writing. It is. I mean, now you can blame Marvel for the way that they published it.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that, but you can't blame CB himself. So Steven DeKnight can have a problem working with Marvel over this, but him just saying, I won't do it until the guy that you promoted incorrectly quits. No, make him, if he had an actual problem with it happening, he wouldn't work until Joe Quesada was gone. Because Joe Quesada is the one that made the call that was a cool way to promote CB Cebulski's pen name. So it's not CB's fault that Joe and the editorial staff back then decided to promote it that way. So blaming CB for it now and saying, I won't leave until he's gone, actually, that doesn't make any sense. So it's bullshit. It's a bullshit excuse.
Yeah, I think Marvel should be as much at fault, but I will stand that I do think there's a difference between someone using a pen name in this way to try to get.
Is there a difference between Asian actors coming over the Western, cinematic industry and changing their names to be more Western sounding to promote themselves?
Yeah, because Bruce Lee's name wasn't Bruce Lee.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
Awkwafina's name isn't Awkwafina. Chloe Bennett's name is not Chloe Bennett.
But typically, in general, you see that there's a change in translation for names. So it's not just an Asian thing.
No. They are absolutely changing their names to Western names.
There's no Japanese Shelley.
But it's not.
I've seen a bunch of them.
It's not like they're coming in trying to pretend they're a different ethnicity. Like you had people like Zhang and people like what it comes down to with those instances is people tend to have problems pronouncing it. And then it's like, who is this person? What is this? And I think that's the reason they change their names. It's not to try to get clout. I think it's because you don't want people being like I've got an African employee that works with me, and she has her American name.
Mm-hmm.
If she used her African name, people would be like, I don't know how to say this at all.
Well, do we
And they
think
don't.
that the Japanese have a CB name? Maybe that was his.
Maybe
Japanese
it's just
name.
initials.
Well, I remember in Spanish class, there is no Uel in Spanish because of the letters. So I had to choose a name.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Look, I think what we really need to look at is I think we can all agree that what CB did and what Marvel did was shitty, right? Like we can agree to that?
No, I think people use pen names all the time. I don't give a shit.
I don't know one way or the other. He's such a
weeb.
Japan file. You know, he loves that culture. He lived there. I mean, if anything, I mean, I don't know what to say. I don't think I should get in. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out, DeKnight. That's what I say.
If you publish a book under a different name as you enter a different market to make you more suitable for that market, I say go for it. Go make your money.
Well, and the thing is that there was no outcry at the time. Well, I guess people didn't really know, but it wasn't like there was
Marvel knew.
I'm talking about people. You know,
that's what I'm
maybe
saying.
Heidi McDonald didn't know yet.
Marvel.
Is what I'm saying. You know,
like
Rich Johnston wasn't around yet.
I mean, but the thing is, first of all, it was 20 years ago. Who cares?
Can you not say sorry? I mean, can you not?
What?
Can you not apologize for something and then
he already has apologized? He was already reprimanded 5 years ago.
How much? What pound of flesh? How much? I mean, CB's got it.
This is why you just don't apologize at all. This is why we're now at the point where there's no point apologizing because you're not going to get forgiven. So who cares? Who cares?
All right,
because I like going on record. That's why.
First off, I do want to say, we're having a great panel here. We are up to, oh my goodness, what's the number? 96 likes. Absolutely fantastic. We've been over 200 live viewers for quite some time.
Oh, I forgot
we
to
can
hit
get
the
some
like
more
button.
likes. We want to go over 100. Thank you so much for doing that. Let everyone know that we're having a fantastic conversation here. We do have a couple of super chats to get to. I want to give Josh a chance to more effectively flesh out his point of view on this one. We do have Yellow Spider-Man saying, in fact, the mantle was passed down to All Might by a female superhero. If you're sick of garbage American superhero comics, just read My Hero Academia.
That's true.
Well, there you
he
go.
Was she selected him based on his qualities of why he wanted to be a hero. It had nothing to do with gender or sexuality or anything like that.
There we go.
Exactly. When it comes to manga and anime, they killing the West in comics and TV shows because they giving the West what they always wanted when it comes to that type of content.
And I've got a video for you on Monday. You're going to love Fatal Jay, where I'm talking to Tim Lim about this very subject.
Okay.
We got Ryan Wilson. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. What's more likely to happen? Batman or Superman turned gay, or Lizzo as Wonder Woman?
Oh no.
Well, I mean, Superman is gay. Well, he's not gay. He's bisexual. And Wonder Woman's bisexual as well.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, she is.
That island, man.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that island. Yeah.
That island.
What is called continuity.
They
don't mention it anymore.
There for like
that's what I was about to say. They
years,
don't even mention it.
They don't mention her or Catwoman. They only mention Harley Quinn and Poison Ivy now.
Yeah.
Wait
But
until Tumblr /fic moves on. That's all it is.
You mean Tini Howard?
She's just
about a joke. Just a joke.
You have a different point of view. You have a different point of view on this situation. Me personally, I say people use pen names, and if they change the name that they're using to enter a market, I go ahead. It doesn't really bother me whatsoever. I think you obviously had a different point of view.
I think pen names are fine. You know, I look, a lot of people do it for privacy reasons, but I think if you're taking a pen name to purposely look like you're a certain ethnicity or a certain sex, I don't agree with it. Like, I think it's wrong because I think the intentions
So
there.
you don't agree with Harry Potter? Harry Potter woman?
It's different. Yeah. Think about it this way.
So
all right, let me help Josh.
Well, the way that wrote The Outsiders used a name specifically.
Look, it's different when women weren't allowed to write.
Correct.
George Eliot.
Right.
Yeah.
It was a woman that wrote The Outsider?
It's different when when a person is breaking into another genre. That might be a thing. But he wasn't writing manga. He was writing American manga. It was for Marvel that was going to be sold here, not in Japan. If it was sold in Japan, that might equate to the same argument that another person is using.
My understanding was that
for
it was
breaking into something. No, it wasn't. It was for Mangaverse manga. He was writing under Akira Yoshida with a manga illustrator for Thor, and it was all in America. So that would be the reason why it's bullshit, that argument.
I think it's lame, but I still don't have a problem with anyone using it.
I'm a fan of DeKnight. I like him.
I was gonna say, look, honestly, I do think DeKnight's insanely talented, and I think Marvel would be lucky to have him. So get him in a room, talk it out, and try to get DeKnight in there.
He ain't gonna stay in comics. He's slumming it. Who gives an F? You're not gonna write Marvel comics. You never were gonna write Marvel comics. You are writing a Marvel comic. Who cares? If another Hollywood person never writes another superhero comic ever again, I will never care. Ever.
I agree.
And you know what? You novelists, fuck off too. I'm sick of you guys. Anybody that isn't going to stick it out, I'm sick of you. I have been sick of you. I've always been sick of you. Name the one time somebody has come from the outside that has done anything really, really good. It ain't Joss Whedon. And when he's writing Buffy, that'd be like a little bit different. You know what I mean? So it ain't Joss Whedon. It isn't Kevin Smith. It isn't who?
Jeff Loeb. He does.
Jeff Loeb actually is not a good writer. He has written some good books, but he's
done good books. You said good stuff. I'm just saying Jeff Loeb was an outsider. He was movies and movies and television. He came into comics.
Say Jeff Loeb doesn't write good comics?
Jeff Loeb does not write good comics. He has written a good comic, and I have. You're right. I did say wrote. I will also say, like, sometimes we have to, and it's kind of what you were doing, Uel, when you're helping me kind of explain my stance on pen names and what you choose and why you choose it. A lot of people don't realize that if you go back to 2005 and before, there was this huge segregation within writing. It was like, no, you're a comics writer, you don't come over here. No, you're a TV writer, you don't come over here. You're a movie writer. And those establishments were kind of set. So I think it's a matter of wherever you strike first. What I will say about DeKnight is I think he's always been passionate about comic books. It seems like he's always kind of referenced it as being a part of his history and his background. I think it's a situation where he got in.
What the hell is that?
No, I don't have a cat.
It sounds like it's a baby.
It's the fucking dog downstairs. Holy shit. It sounds like a cat.
No, it sounds like a baby trying to sound like an ambulance in there.
I tell you what, I have some cats in heat outside that live with someone else. And I'm sleeping and you hear it outside and it's like, it sounds like a baby crying, to me. That's what cats in heat sound like. I hate babies crying and cats in heat.
Now I'm gonna have to disagree with you guys because Jay Krasinski is one of the top.
J. Michael Straczynski is trash.
What? Okay?
Trash. And the only book that he's ever written that was any good. Oh, look at what I'm going to do. I'm Superman. And I'm going to go walk and I'm going to go through a black neighborhood and there's drugs going on and everything. It's like, fuck you.
Sir,
and you know what?
You never read
The Midnight Nation, if you get to the very last issue, it's a shit book. You
never read Rising Stars?
Rising Stars. That was a book that when it went on hiatus, trash. When it moved it forward, trash. And you know what? You look at that, and then you're like, "Oh, that first part really wasn't that good either." It's like when someone says Ghostbusters 2 is good. No, Ghostbusters 2 should make you look at Ghostbusters 1 and say, "God damn, this sucks." That's how bad that movie was.
I always agree with that too. Ghostbusters 2 was absolutely trash garbage. But horrible. I disagree
so
about
much that it actually taints what came before it. That's how I feel. And J. Michael Straczynski, you see what he did with Spider-Man? Everybody knows that he wrote.
Yeah.
It wasn't even One More Day. It was The Sins Past. And we had to go through all this last stuff in Spider-Man to deal with that. It's horrible. Horrible.
Well, looking back on JMS's era on Spider-Man, Jesus Christ, I like the legacy that it left. I hate it.
Yeah.
The Spider Totem bullshit, Sins Past, One More Day. Now, One More Day was all Joe Q, but Sins Past and the Spider Totem bullshit, that's something we still haven't fixed.
I'm just to say something that's gonna blow everybody's mind and make them hate me for the rest of their lives. Because
it's already done, Jay. You don't need to convince me.
You know who you just described when you was talking about they started.
Man, I'm on pins and
I
needles
don't
here.
care. I'm telling the truth.
Say it again.
You got to say it again. You cut out. We heard.
One more time.
I'm going to tell the
I want to
truth.
hear this.
And then
Sorry, my internet.
Yeah.
Everybody is watching cartoons in the back, and the internet is being used up. But I just want to say this: you just described, and I'm about to say it. I don't care. People in the chat gonna hate me. The panel gonna hate me. I'm gonna say it right here, right now, on the Thinking Critical channel. Frank Miller.
Woo! All right, fine. Yeah.
You
I
just
don't
described
hate you
Frank
any
Miller.
less or any more than I did before,
So
Jay. I'm
saying
sorry.
that, Dark Knight Returns. So this is what I'm
No.
gathering. This is what
No,
I'm
I'm talking about when you said started off great.
gathering.
But we all know that these recent comic books for the
They've been
last
terrible.
5 or 10 years have been absolutely horribly terrible from Frank Miller. Even the
I
art.
don't disagree, but I don't think they're so bad that they taint what came beforehand. It's just like there's a line of demarcation, and I'm not going to get suckered in to caring what Frank Miller does now. But JMS, you're always in the middle of what you're reading. You know what I mean? You get to the end and you're let down. You know what I mean? Jeff Loeb, it's like, yeah, Long Halloween was good. Dark Victory, Tim Sale drew it
a lot.
Hush was
Catwoman,
solid.
When in Rome, Tim Sale drew it. You know, I don't care about the Falcons anymore.
Spider-Man Blue's good.
All the color books.
No,
at
all of
Marvel.
those. Oh, I'm going to take somebody's love of their life, and I'm going to write a real big, poignant story about them, and Tim Sale's going to draw it. That's what that book was.
Oh, he did all those.
Sorry,
color
I'm
books.
feeling out. It's early.
Did anyone talk about Neo Star's super
No.
chat here, by the way?
No.
Passing mantles, same thing.
Exactly. Whatever happened to passing a mantle on to someone you trust and respect? Too many characters just take mantles instead of earning them. You, sir, have just described Carol Danvers, and I'm not going to make anyone mad with that one.
Nope.
All right, Doc, come on, get in there, get hot.
No, I'm. Look,
Hold on,
mantles suck.
wait. Doc, before you
Mantles
speak,
suck.
please, Doc, please, before you speak, we got to address the elephant in the room. Do you have a kid in your room that sounds like a ambulance?
No, it was. I told you already. It was the dog downstairs.
Oh, that was your dog. I thought that was
Yeah.
him.
No, it was
Oh,
a
okay,
dog
gotcha.
downstairs.
Your dog.
it
Is,
was-
you
was-
might need to go to the vet.
No, it was howling at a fucking squirrel. I'm like,
okay.
That's well earned it.
yeah.
Deserved it.
So, yeah, no, but look, legacy characters, mantles, all that stuff is it's just lazy bullshit. They all just take whatever they want. I mean, I guess in some ways, the ones that are taking it without asking, that just take a mantle, are more true than the ones that accept it from somebody that they cared about. Because being a superhero is an inherently egotistical act. You are placing yourself above the systems, above the law, and essentially being a vigilante. So just taking shit that you didn't earn. Yep, right in the wheelhouse of somebody that would take a mantle that they didn't earn. So I actually have less of a problem than that than whenever it's your little buddy that decides to follow in your footsteps and be the exact same character as you.
All right. We're ready to move on. I want to talk about this. This is going to be a good one. I want to talk about the most played out stories in comics. I'm referring this, and the reason we bring it up is because of Batman the Knight. I'm so tired of learning about how Bruce Wayne became Batman. It's been covered. It's been covered. It's been recovered. It's retread. It's been retconned and all that crap. They've gone to the well too many times. And they've done it over and over and over. Doc, what do you think is the most played out story in comics? You got to stop telling the story.
Oh God, clone version of an existing hero. That,
or how about one arriving from the multiverse and you don't realize that's not
like clone version, multiverse, evil twin. I'm almost the secret sibling. I think secret sibling's actually above clone at this point. Especially when it's been like, a character that's been in existence for like 40 years, like having Teresa Parker show up and actually having us fucking believe it. No, I don't believe it. Same way as having Dick Grayson having a sister show up. No, I don't buy it. Sorry. Secret siblings are dumb. That's the one that
siblings
needs to go.
Absolutely suck. They just show up. It's for shock factor. We just got it in Nightwing.
We just got it in We just got it in Fast and Furious 9. With John Cena suddenly being Vin Diesel's brother. What the shit?
Can't be brothers. There's no way.
They are.
That's
we're 8 movies in, and now suddenly, and with no reference of a brother, and now, oh wait, we have a brother.
Well, it's all about family that one. But you know what I'm saying, Josh? You read Nightwing. That stupid sister just shows up.
Yeah, it comes out of nowhere. Even the way they explained it, it's just kind of like, all right, it's definitely a stretch. I'm not a fan of it. Yeah, it's overused. I'll agree with Doc. The secret sibling thing, it's an attempt to try to make some dramatic flair into a book, and typically they're gone and disappear within a year. So
yeah, you're talking about like Dick Grayson. He's been around for like 60 years. Maybe 80.
He's been around
80,
for like 80
years. 80 years. It's hard to fit a character in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Because it's even doing the whole. Yeah. I mean, look, I hate it. I can't. I'm too in my feelings about how much I hate it. I can't say anything. Other things that I don't like too. This whole just like Gotham City getting destroyed. Over it. Going back to the same character traits for characters. Tony Stark's a drunk. Over it, like there's so many other things, like move on, like progress your characters. Unfortunately, you can't because
Roy Harper's always got to have a relapse.
Yeah,
basically, we're gonna do Roy again. He's got to have a relapse. God.
Yeah,
characters that are just repeating their greatest hits.
Yep,
storylines. Yeah, like Phoenix shit in X-Men. Obviously drug problems and alcoholism with Speedy and Tony Stark. Yeah, just repeat the greatest hits.
Yeah,
and Captain America getting disillusioned by the American government. Jesus fucking Christ! Can you do that one again, please?
I do want to give a shout out to my good friend Aaron Sparrow's in here. He's Dapper Dragon Media. In the comment section, we've also got Tristan for Nerdettes Newstead. Welcome to the comment section. If you were there earlier, I did step out for a minute. We got Kenneth Dowling. He said, when I read Spider-Verse, I thought it was a great idea. Now I absolutely hate it. I'm tired of all these spider characters. That's another one, Uel. I'm so damn tired. The Spider-Man origin is so unique that it's like a once in a billion opportunity. How the hell do we got so many damn spider characters now?
Yeah, it's kind of like when you were gone, what I was talking about, how something is good and you like it, but the longer it goes on, or this is a little bit different than one person sucking at the end of their run, but other things can come in and destroy it. And just like Spider-Verse was good, but all this is not, and
it ruins
you open the forbidden door and it's hard to close it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then you kill off one of these clone fake versions And then you make a new one because that's why you kill one of them off. And then you're like, well, they like the other one better, so you got to bring them back. The next thing you know, you got 15 spider characters.
That was my Spider-Man. That was my spider person.
How many spider women do we have because they can't pick one?
There's just Jessica Jones.
There should just be Mayday, right?
There's Jessica Drew. There's Anya.
Or Jessica Drew.
There's
Silk.
Julia
Spider-Gwen.
Carpenter. There's Silk. There's Gwen. Jesus Christ. I just counted 5 off the top of my head.
Oh, I do kind of like Punk Spider-Man.
I like Spider Pig. That's the only one that's acceptable.
Oh, Peter Parker's all right. Yeah,
Peter
for sure.
Parker's great. I like puns. That's right in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you're your star kids, Marvel, Peter Parker's fine. When you're in the Spider-Man universe, I don't know if I care.
Y'all didn't like the Spider-Verse movie?
I never.
Oh, I love you haven't seen it? It's good.
The
Spider-
animation's
good.
a little
I've heard
bit
that.
too like twitchy.
Yeah.
Other than that,
Yeah.
I think it's fine.
And
It's
part
perfect.
2 coming out next year, guys. It's gonna be
All
pretty
right.
good.
Fatal
Yeah.
Jay,
Oh,
since you stepped in here, what do you think's the most played out story in comics? What the hell? What story you just heard of?
I'm tired of everything about comics. It's not even just a story. This is
I'm tired of the
what,
damn medium.
no, this is what kills me.
There's
I
so
don't
many good
understand
comics.
this. And guys, let me know if I'm wrong on this. This is what I don't understand. The artists that are still in comic books that just grabbed us with their art in the 90s, they're still doing comics right now, and it seems like their art has deteriorated. Like it's just a generic, mediocre look, like a boring look, instead of the big giant muscles and the incredible fight scenes. Now we just got boring, almost stick figure.
You want that
type
Rob
character.
Liefeld Captain America with those
True.
double
It's
G's
not
on him,
true
right?
At all.
But it don't even have to necessarily be
No.
Rob.
I want that.
Todd McFarlane, big capes,
No, you
big
don't.
muscles.
I want
You know
that
what I mean?
Stephen Platt with Prophet with the giant
Yeah.
fucking guns. Yeah.
Why
You
are
were
all
saying-
these characters so slender? They like swimmers, Olympic
I've seen a
swimmers.
lot of childbearing hips on male superheroes lately, Fatal J. I'll give you that.
We need to make Bishop swole again.
Yeah, these characters, they just look. It's just boring. It's just a boring look. Am I wrong?
All right, you
for
will
that?
see, right? It sounds like you.
I try not to derail like I did while you were gone. I disagree.
Okay, who was the?
You
remember the
might
guy-
not like a big ass She-Hulk, but there ain't nobody that draws superheroes bigger than McGinnis.
the guy that
You've
did
got
Spider-Man.
Andy Kubert doing his best work in The Detective. You've got
that's a damn good book,
Jorge,
isn't it?
regardless if you like the story, Jorge Jimenez is doing
Okay, well,
brilliant
you'll-
Batman work.
You'll answer this
Brilliant.
for me.
And then you
Um,
have like other people that are doing all sorts of crazy different stuff that you just don't know about. You have Ed Pisk. I mean, that we're talking about superheroes, so I shouldn't bring like Red Room into it. But there's other people that are doing superhero comics that are really, really good. We just don't know. And not only that, they haven't become as good as they're going to be. But Greg Capullo is still good. Tony Daniel is still good. Gary Frank is doing killer artwork on Geiger. Nobody better than Gary Frank. And
Gary Frank,
still the best Hulk artist.
And we've got 38 different Stuart Immonens now.
Well, that's not necessarily good. I mean, that's the thing, like
know,
more
that's the
Spider-Men. We don't want a bunch of Stuart Immonens either.
Yep,
Stuart
joke.
is going to be doing his own book with Mark Miller. Check that one out. Magic.
All
Wizard,
right,
I
Fatal
think.
J, you were wanting to talk to Uel there for a second. He wouldn't let you get in. What do you
Sorry,
want to
buddy.
say?
you know what? My mind is it moves so quick. I
You lost
actually
it,
forgot
didn't
what I
you?
was gonna say.
That's good.
I lost
All right.
it. I really did.
That's fine. We got Neostar Productions. Maybe you'll remember what you wanted to say. He says, I'm telling you, Wes, we need a war of arachnids and loopings. Get rid of all these derivative characters, starting with Spider-Man and Wolverine clones. We can have the Wolverine
Throw
clones
them
shred
in
all the
the
Spider-Man
sun.
clones and murder them, and then we can shoot them off into the sun.
To
Are
the
you
sun.
kidding me? The Spider-Man clones would kick the Wolverine clones' asses.
He would.
I just
murder
want them all. Hey, can we take all the Spider-Mans and the Wolverines and the Bat people and the Super people and throw them in a well and let them fight? Whatever. I don't really care. Just throw them in a well.
Okay, this is what I wanted to say.
Hey,
Mark Bagley. You can't tell me Mark Bagley draws the same.
Oh, he draws the same.
really
That's
good.
the problem with Mark
Yeah.
Bagley.
He does. No, Mark Bagley draws the same when you give him the page
Spider-Man.
rate that is the page rate that is incentive or inflation adjusted to match what he was getting paid in 1992. When he's only getting paid the same page rate he was getting on his Ultimate Spider-Man, he doesn't give a shit.
There you go. We got exploded, Freddie. He didn't enjoy Jesus Christ run as Spider-Girl. Blasphemy. I don't even know what that was about.
So
I don't even know, but I want to read it.
This is why I started laughing, because when Doc was naming all the different Spider-Girls, he's doing name, and then he's like, Jesus Christ. And I was like, what the fuck?
Wait,
Jesus Christ was not a Spider-Girl. So I'm so glad this comment was here. And when I first saw it, I started laughing so hard.
There you go. I didn't even see that one. We got Kenneth Allen coming here. He says, I read ASM 76. What I want to know is, what are they doing with Miles Morales? They prop him up as Spider-Man, but then they get Ben Reilly to replace him. This character is useless. They all are. Jeez Louise.
Yeah. I would say in general.
Ask Salad Man.
What?
I've been enjoying his Spider-Man, but I totally agree with this comment. Why not Miles? And if not Miles, then why Ben Reilly?
Well, it's because he was in prison, or no, his girlfriend was in prison.
He was like in New Mexico last or something like that.
Yeah,
you know?
they framed him to get his woman released so that he would be in cahoots with the Beyond Corporation.
All right, well,
apparently
I mean,
it was a
that's
backup
all fine,
story.
But I didn't really hate the issues of Spider-Man. It feels like, I could get out if I want to.
Oh yeah, doesn't feel all that important. Ben Reilly's a pretty okay character.
You know what they should have done with Ben Reilly? Made him buy. Why not?
This is written by Zeb Wells, these last two issues.
Yeah, they've been pretty good.
He's probably like an outsider at one time, if I'm not mistaken, but he's been writing comics for a while. These are two really well-written issues by him, I think, these Spider-Mans.
Zeb Wells is a very, very competent superhero comic writer.
Patrick Gleason drawing helps though too.
It does.
Well, he's using his Superman style rather than the Spider-Man like horror stuff he was doing prior to, so it looks better.
Yeah, I mean, very much. It's very much the same way that Zeb Wells. He had Steven Segovia over on Hellions. He had hell back in the day when he did New Mutants. I don't remember who he had then, but he had Scotty Young on New Warriors back in the day. So he's always had some decent talent to work with. He's just never gotten a big promotion. This is his big shot, but he's a solid superhero comic writer. Nothing flashy, nothing super amazing, nothing groundbreaking, but good, and I'm gonna enjoy it.
Hey, and this market
kill Peter Parker off
stands out
and give us Ben Reilly for a whole year.
Well, that's what they just did. Fatal Jay, you haven't been reading, have you?
I don't read.
Well, they didn't kill him off. He's in a coma.
Y'all let me know what comic that is. I want to read it.
Amazing Spider-Man.
75 and 76.
There's a million Amazing Spider-Man out there. That really
There's only one Amazing Spider-Man.
There's only one monthly Amazing Spider-Man book.
Yeah,
dude.
but it's 10 million issues.
Well,
it's 10 million.
It's the last two issues, dude. Go look on the new comic book shelf.
Last two.
I got you.
Yeah,
just listen.
All right, Kerry, let's get back on track. What do you think is the most played out story arc or plot in comic books?
Manga.
I'm in comics. I'm probably gonna get hate for this one, but I'm so tired of the crises.
I like hate.
I'm tired of the crises. It's become more about fixing mistakes now.
If it's plural,
or crises, probably.
Yeah,
it is. It's
I don't
crises.
know. Sorry,
it's like omnibuy, not omnibuses.
The worst part is about the crises is not they don't spread them out anymore. They're getting like more. They're closer and closer together.
Yep.
Where eventually you're just gonna have one enormous crises. And you're just going to have to start everything over from here. Like, this is the beginning, and we can't do a crisis anymore.
But that's what they promise all the time, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna jump in with two things real quick. One, Joe was in the comments said hello, Joe. But Aaron Sparrow actually mentioned a really good one. He's sick of superheroes having to reveal their identity. I can't talk today, Jesus. But yeah, revealing identities, over it, so over it.
It doesn't make sense within the superhero universe. What are you trying to get your family killed by all these supervillains with powers?
Right?
You trying to go to jail for all the shit you're doing that's illegal?
Yeah.
Looks like Kenneth Dowling was on the Kerry trade. He says most played out stories in comics, DC Crisis Events, Marvel Secret Cosmic Wars, X-Men Days of Future Past, and events every month. How many do we often get more Days of Future Past, Doc?
Well, we've gotten
Age of Apocalypse kind of is, but that's going in the future.
Yeah, I mean, Days of Future Past, well, that was, I mean, in the future too. I guess it's that constantly going back to that well of eventual mutant extinction by Sentinels stuff, because that wasn't a thing. Like us preventing a known future, like Terminator style. That wasn't a thing until Days of Future Past. There was always the, how do they, adjust, and how do they make the world, accept them, and all that stuff in the early issues. But knowing that there was the likely future of essentially genocide to mutants, and them constantly needing to avoid it, I don't know. That is kind of played out.
Also within the Crisis events, you know what pisses me off, Josh? When they call Dark Knight's death metal the Anti-Crisis.
Yeah.
And then you read it and you're like, no, this is a fucking crisis.
It was definitely a crisis. Yeah, I kind of want to touch on what Doc was talking about. Just this idea of going back to the well in general. God, we've done it with Civil War. Half these X-Men titles are doing it now, at least in namesake.
As Kenneth Dowling just said in the super chat, House of X was just a retread or a reimagining of Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
Yeah. And how many times can Gotham get taken over? Like, get it. Stop. Find something else to take away from Bruce Wayne. Jesus. Yep. We got Chuck Skills. Is that the best name since Albino Thunderbuns?
Probably. It's close. It's right up there. God.
He says, I'm tired of villains turning into good guys. Thank you. There's nothing worse than destroying a good villain to make him a good guy. The only good villain left is Arcade.
I'm tired of them killing lesser known characters. Get some guts and nuts about yourself. Kill the main character and bring them back a year later. Can you do that?
No.
Don't do that.
No, we've already seen that like a million times.
Yes. I love Fatal Jay.
That was great, Jay. That was great.
Take ever. I was on board. You kicked me right in the nuts. That's exactly right.
Playing off of Chuck's skills here, I also want to say giving sympathetic stories to bad guys is also something I can't stand.
It worked for Magneto, so now every villain has to have like that.
Right.
That point.
I would say that the thing about Magneto is that he admittedly, goes overboard, and that's what makes him the villain, So even though he might feel justified, he's not going about things the right way. And
Magneto
he
also
can get
has
cleaned
the
up
thing
a bit
where he becomes the thing he hates.
Sure.
That's
exactly.
his fatal flaw.
Yes.
His Fatal J flaw.
Yes.
The one thing I wish writers would get is there's a difference between establishing a motivation for a villain and making them sympathetic.
One of my favorite runs of anything was when Jeff Johns was on The Flash and he was doing the villain stories. They became cool, because you found out more about them and you liked them, but you didn't like them because they were, so sympathetic or anything like that. You just know what they were all about. And I think that was really well done.
I like that Flash 80th anniversary where we had that Captain Cold story. And Flash thinks he's out there because he knows it's his birthday. And really, he was just going to get some beer. Wrong place at the wrong time. And Flash, like, you tried to ruin my birthday by like holding this place up. Captain Cold was just watching hockey and needed some beers. That's cool, but that's not making him sympathetic. But I guess you just had a bad day. I like that. We've also got Kenneth Dowling saying House of X was a retread imagining of Days of Future Past. Certainly, they're restarting the timeline over as they go back and try to fix things during her lifetime. Definitely.
And it sets up that same future with Sentinels and mutant genocide and blah, blah, blah. It's essentially setting up the exact same future.
Yeah. And we've got, here we go. We got Yellow Spider-Man. Final Crisis is the last one. We swear. Right? Fingers crossed. Didn't have to deliver on that one.
The last one for Grant Morrison. That's what that meant.
They're just going to stop calling them Crisis for a little while. They're going to call them Metals for a while.
Yeah,
sure.
Anti-crisis.
Yeah.
No, just another crisis. We got
what they really need is the Jon Kent quarter life crisis.
I like that.
Kenneth Dowling says, Fatal Jay, you were doing good under that last comment. Please don't. This is like you're egging him on like he was doing.
Okay, so y'all saying kill him and never bring him back again?
If you're gonna kill a character, just let him die. Yes.
It's played out.
Do somebody out there have the cojones to kill Bruce Wayne forever?
Well, that's different. The thing is that there was a time when Alan Scott is not the Green Lantern anymore. It's Hal Jordan. But we're never going to get that for real going forward. Because
another time when Hal Jordan wasn't Green Lantern anymore, it was Kyle Rayner.
I think the only thing that did that right was Death of Superman. The way that they killed him off and we had to work our way up to getting Superman back. To me, that was the only perfect way of killing the character.
That's exactly how Kenneth Dowling says you don't do it. He says heroes being killed and brought back later is played out. Death of Superman is the example.
Yeah, not only that, but they did it in the most
I didn't read that.
Like lying way possible, where they immediately launched 4 new Supermen and said, which of these is the real one? And then it turns out it was fucking none of them.
Oh.
Lade Kramer says, so am I being foolish after King in Black, Heroes Reborn, and Extreme Carnage? Am I crazy for skipping Devil's Reign despite reading Daredevil?
100%.
Yeah, I think you are crazy if you're reading Daredevil.
Well, you're not going to read that Elektra one either?
Yeah, Daredevil Woman Without Fear. I don't know. What do you think, Josh? Is that crazy? You're going to read Devil's Reign?
I mean, I like Daredevil, so I'm probably going to read Devil's Reign. I'm just going to be honest. But I think in general with these events and or crises, I think the big problem with them is we do these big things and then we never deal with the consequences. So I think if we actually spend time to deal with the consequences, we'd have a different take, but we don't. We just like jump right past it. And then it's like, but here's the status quo. You're not going to get to actually learn it. It just happens.
That's kind of been the way that it's worked since Civil War. And they were able to just go right into other stuff because Civil War, the consequences of that should have been that essentially the entire government would have fallen from that. I mean, there's no way you can have a superhero civil war like that and with tens, like hundreds of heroes fighting against the government that doesn't turn into an actual civil war that rips the whole country apart. Like
or government galvanize them all against every hero.
Yes. But no, I mean, you'd end up with all of them using it as a way to rip down the government. That's what they should have been exploring for the next years, and instead they just went to bullshit.
Dark Reign?
Yeah, Dark Reign. Well, that was actually after Secret Invasion.
Okay,
it was.
It's like event
Initiative.
Marvel's
yawn.
I say you're crazy, Lade Kramer, but Josh does make a point. There's so many events, like you can only invest in so many, right?
Yeah.
It's like we're going from what is it? We're going right from Fear State right into Shadows of the Bat, a weekly Batman event for 3 months.
Oh God, are
That's
you
rough.
ready for that, Wes? Oh,
no,
man.
I'm not. I just did the solicitations. I'm so depressed just reading. Yeah. I don't want to read Detective Comics every week for a month. Mariko Tamaki is better than expected. Ain't that good? You know what I mean? And at the same time, I'm going to be reading that stupid 10 Lives and Deaths of Wolverine every week for 3 months. Like, literally.
Yeah, we'll order it and then tell me how you feel about it.
Well, listen, I don't want to be a comic retailer and have to worry about that, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah, but they weren't doing this. At least, Doc, when they did Civil War, they only did Civil War related stuff. You know, it wasn't 5 other miniseries events going on at the same time. You know?
Because they hadn't realized they were able to do that yet.
Are they? I mean,
Or
it's
they
again,
needed to do
I
that.
mean,
It was
to keep
all
the numbers up.
processed to get to that point now.
I'm
asking,
thinking
saying,
like
well, at
when I
least you did
order this
accept
stuff,
6 times.
I'm really hoping there is going to be a delay in comics because it's going to take a while to sell all this shit, you know?
Or don't order it.
Or don't order it. Yeah, don't order Marvel. Don't order DC. That would be like, I don't know.
No, you just don't order.
It'd be nice to make a stand, but there's
only
so many
order-
of those other titles that don't sell. Saga's coming back in January, though.
Absolutely.
No, but I mean, you
It's gonna
could you could order like the big events. Don't order any of the tie-ins, and then ignore
Sure thing.
like
That's
the
how I order,
outlaw.
though. I mean, I have some people that get everything, so you have to order for them. But you know, there's always something like a surprise or somebody died or came out or whatever.
Collector
You're
becomes
like, "I didn't
Daredevil
order
and they
that."
don't tell anybody.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
John
Kenneth
Kent
Gallagher
likes it in
says-
the butt.
Sure,
They
why
put
not?
that out. They've been foreshadowing that one for at least a month, and they put it out 5 weeks ahead of time. So they have plenty of time to order that one.
That's true.
You got Kenneth Dowling says, if Death of Superman, Return of Superman just happened once, it would be great. The industry kept doing retreading. I thought it said another word, and that's why it's played out Fatal Jay.
Boom.
Do you get it, Fatal Jay?
I
He's
definitely
zoned out.
understand. Thank you.
No,
No. Kenneth Dowling is the man. He supports Thinking Critical single-handedly. Thank you so much, Kenneth Dowling, for telling me the error of my ways.
absolutely. Anytime anybody wants to set Fatal Jay straight, I'm all for it. Let me put
That's
that
right.
out there.
Just put some.
I do.
I
buy
gotta
it.
respect Kenneth, man. He do so much for everybody. So thank you, sir.
Absolutely. We absolutely really appreciated supporting the channel and all the stuff that we do here. I think we talked about the played out storylines. We got a few things to get to. There was some controversy in the Spider-Man circles about who exactly created Venom. David Michelinie was out there saying, well, I'd been laying the groundwork for Venom 2 years prior to Todd McFarlane ever coming on to Amazing Spider-Man when he was working on Web of Venom. And Erik Larsen took offense, and they were going back and forth. And eventually, I don't know why, but David Michelinie actually apologized to Todd McFarlane himself. Doc, you and I talked about this one. Let's hear from you, Kerry. What do you think about all this tit for tat as far as the creator, who should be the creator of Venom?
That's a good question.
Erik Larsen's eyebrows. Sorry,
Erik
I
Larsen-
just needed to mention
Eric
this.
Larsen need to quit making porn.
He doesn't have eyebrows. That's the joke. He doesn't have eyebrows.
What does he have, alopecia?
No, he doesn't have that.
No, he
He's had
looks
hair.
like he doesn't have eyebrows.
Yeah, he used to have hair back in the day, but it was bald and back then. So.
Oh yeah. Well, he wasn't that young compared to the other whippersnappers.
But he.
I don't know. What do you think?
Porn
Who
instead of
created
drag.
Venom? Who should get the credit? Should it just be Michelinie? Should it be
Steve
co-credit?
Ditko, that's who should get it. Or whoever Jim Shooter stole the black costume idea from.
Well, he didn't steal it. He paid
Yeah,
that
that's
kid for
true.
it.
You know what? You work for a company. You don't get to like create things. Yeah, I learned this from Ben Reilly, you know? in the Beyond Corporation. I'm just joking. You don't get
Feels
to
like
like create things and then own them for other you work at it's crazy. Who cares? Everybody did. And they get all angry about it and everything. You guys are I'm a writer, and I'm on the writer side is what I mean. Fuck all the others. You know,
So
artists, they
you're
think they're
Team
so important. Spider-Man's still going on. They think they're so important, you know.
So do you think it's Ditko, Stan Lee, Zet?
Oh,
Or
no, not
Michelinie.
Stan Lee. I said I was with the writers, not Stan Lee.
But this is what I'm wondering.
Oh.
This is what I'm curious about. Is Tom McFarlane getting residuals for Venom?
No.
Well, that's what I
I
was
don't
going to
think
ask too. Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I mean, just thank
That's
the
what
guys
I'm-
at the end of the movie, and everything's done. You know,
Oh, okay.
You don't even watch movies. What do you care?
I just don't, man. It's so tough. I mean, what came first, chicken or the egg? Again, you know, Jim Shooter took Secret Wars from I don't even know who the writer was, you know, and wrote it himself. So maybe the black costume idea was in that. Sure. What about Tom DeFalco? Wasn't he writing Spider-Man when the costume went all nuts? Or who was on Web of Spider-Man at the time? I can't remember. Does Charles Vess get any consideration because he drew the costume on the front cover of Web? You know, whatever.
Get it? Alex says, let me know if I'm wrong, but I get shades of Bob Kane, Bill Finger with this, especially when two people fight over who created a popular character. That was a little bit different because the rights of whoever created Batman is a little bit more important. But also, you can, I believe Bob Kane used like a lawyer to like kind of expunge Bill Finger out of the records for quite some time. That was kind of underhanded.
But this is the thing right here, and I may sound bad because my internet is acting crazy. But with Todd McFarlane, you can't really trust him because he steals so much and had so many lawsuits back in the day. He probably did take Venom from Steve Ditko. You know what I mean? All he do is copy.
I'm just saying, without Steve Ditko doing Spider-Man, there is no Venom. You know, and
without Secret Wars introducing the costume, there is no black suit.
Yeah,
it wasn't a black suit in Secret Wars. I thought it was a black suit in Secret Wars.
It is, yeah.
That's where it's introduced.
Without the guy that invented the pencil, there's no Venom.
There you go.
Yeah.
And which Venom is we talking about Black Suit Spider-Man, or are we talking about Venom Eddie Brock?
That's the thing. I mean, who created Eddie Brock? You know, who and was it the artist just drawing some knucklehead in the sports editorial or whatever it was?
I'm coming down on the answer of Randy Schuler. That's that kid that they bought the Jim bought the black costume off of.
Oh, there you go. That's right.
Well, Jim Shooter bought that costume, so technically it would be Jim Shooter then, right?
No, Randy Schuler still created it. He just sold his creation.
Be the owner.
No, but he was the creator. He created it. He sold the creation. I mean, that's like saying Nickelodeon created the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because they bought them off Eastman and Laird.
Right. I mean, it's like Todd McFarlane created webbing. No, he just did it the way he did it. You know, maybe he can claim something there, but as far as like Venom, I mean, sure, you drew it. There you go.
I do need to say we're at 128 likes. We get over 150 before the end of the show. That would be amazing. We've been over 200 live viewers for pretty much the entire show. I want to say thank you very much to everyone supporting the channel. If you want to support us and you haven't given us a thumbs up, definitely do that. Let people know that we're having a great time here talking about comic books. All right, Fatal Jay, are you give me a thumbs up or you give me the signal that you want in?
I'm giving you a thumbs up, and I have two messages for Todd McFarlane and Erik Larsen because I know they're watching right now. Todd McFarlane, King Spawn was good, but I didn't know what the freak I was reading. And number two, Erik Larsen, please make Savage Dragon good again. I'm tired of reading porn.
Well, there you go. We got Cisco H coming in saying, y'all ready for Jon Kent to fight climate change in Son of Kal #7? I can't believe this is what DC has approved of as good storytelling. I'm ready. I'll probably review the damn thing. I've got a video talking about it tomorrow. I do a little. Normally, when I do my DC solicits, I got something to talk about. That's Son of Kal #7 cover. Is my little intro. Are you ready for it, Josh? You're the DC aficionado. Are you ready for Superman to prevent climate change?
No. I look. And it's all how they're going to go about it. So no, if they had this like small little thread of a story that ran through multiple issues about him doing different things like on the side to help climate change, sure, all for it. Like we could stand to be better, but you have these writers that come out and, push these ideas and agendas, and then their personal life, they don't do anything. Like they're just preaching at you. And then, they talk the talk, but don't walk the walk. So no, I'm not looking forward to it.
There are some weird things going on in the comment section. I'll tell you that. I don't even want to know about that. We got Drew with Comics Elite Without a caveman drawing on a cave wall, there's no Venom.
Damn right.
There you go.
Cro-Magnon Man is the creator, the originator of Venom.
Goo Grung. That's the name of the creator of Venom.
Man.
He's also the creator of Superman, Batman. He's the most prolific creator in history.
If you want to see the greatest movie about cavemen ever, it's called Quest for Fire. Ron Perlman, who could ever see him being anything but a caveman, he stars in the movie. No one says one word of English or even dialogue in the entire movie. It's just 3 cavemen fighting off saber-toothed tigers, woolly mammoths, and an ape tribe and a bunch of cannibals. It's amazing. Never
Nothing
seen
against Ron
Quest for
Perlman.
Fire.
Nothing against Ron Perlman, but he has that Cro-Magnon Man look.
Yes. That's why they cast him. He didn't even have to talk. It's amazing. It's one of the best movies you'll ever watch. Clan of the Cave Bear is an okay set. Definitely. All right. Are we done with Venom? I've worked on
Kelly
it.
wanted
Well,
to say something.
Yeah,
Oh,
let me because before my video froze up, I was just wondering, like, why bring this up now if you're not getting royalties? Is it because of the movies?
The movie.
Yeah. I think that's part of it. And it seems like his whole argument was that there was like a brainstorming session going on where ideas were thrown out. And, you know, he had some ideas that kind of fell into what Venom is. And that doesn't mean you created it. Like, I worked as a staff writer for television, and for the TV show that I worked for, it was a group of us sitting in a room, and we had some mandates that we knew we had to like work in and try to brainstorm. And then we were just throwing out like random ideas, being like, what about this? What about this? What if this character did this? What about, like, I didn't go through and write the episodes. So if I made a recommendation, like, what if we brought in an exchange student? I'm not going to get credit for whoever writes and creates that exchange student. I just threw out the idea. What if we got an exchange student? People need
Todd McFarlane deserves credit for
screw it up, you know.
Venom's moose
that
knuckle,
is
for certain then. Right?
I'm sorry, y'all were both talking. What was that?
Sorry.
Todd McFarlane deserves credit for Venom's moose knuckle.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He drew that shit. It was in his head.
Yeah.
All right. So there's we were gonna do this digital versus print thing. We don't have time. This will be more interesting. We had DC Comics. They have their the solicitation information for January 2022. There will be a full video first thing tomorrow morning for you guys. I think we had a good time. Might be a little bit funny, but there are some notable entries in here. Specifically, we are getting that Brian Michael Bendis Legion of Superheroes versus Justice League. I was hoping it was going to be a story arc in Justice League. It's actually going to be its own event series. We've got Mark Waid returning in a backup story in Detective Comics 1050, I believe it is, to do World's Finest Batman, Superman. And we have Tini Howard making her DC Comics debut, replacing Ram V as a writer of Catwoman. Which one of these is the biggest travesty, Josh? I know you got an opinion.
The biggest travesty is gonna be Bendis, and then right next to it's gonna be Tini Howard with Catwoman. Just because Ram V's been doing such a good job, you know. The one thing I'm actually open to and curious to see is Wade's World's Finest. I think that could be a good read, and you got Dan Moore there. But I know people don't like Waid personally, but out of the 3 and the content, I have more hope for Waid.
What about Catwoman? That was like one of the few ongoing series at DC that I could actually recommend to people and be confident that it was going to be good.
I don't have much hope for it.
There you go.
I'm just leaving it at that.
What do you think, Fatal Jay? It looks like you're looking at a sub or something. Were you looking at a sandwich?
No, I'm thinking about the Bishop burrito I haven't ate yet in the microwave.
I knew it. I knew it was food. What kind of breakfast burrito? You got sausage in there? You got reindeer sausage? You got bacon? What you got in there?
Man, you got me drooling, but no, I don't have none of it. It's just a regular one. But this right here, I don't care about whatever you just put right here. I don't care.
Alrighty then. We got Nightmare X123. Hopefully they care. They say since manga has better storytelling, perfect synergy between mediums, and leagues more variety than comics, what prevents you from getting into manga? Nothing prevents me from getting into manga.
That's what I'm
I have
reading,
all
like
the
a
anime,
you know,
obviously on Netflix. My wife actually likes manga rather than she doesn't really read comic books. So the only thing preventing me from manga is nothing. Plus,
I'll tell you things. Reading right to left really throws people off somehow. I mean, I understand why it would, but you got to get past it if you want to read a manga.
I've read manga before. It doesn't bother me anymore.
I got so much
especially if
manga
you
in
have
storage
your
right
title
now.
to do it for you. You won't confuse yourself.
Sure. Yeah, if you do
manga.
it digitally, I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Manga is way better. Anime is better. TV, I definitely agree. Manga is just refreshing. It's very
Can
refreshing.
you imagine a manga version of the Snyderverse? It might be worth reading and watching. You know what I mean?
Man, if they did that, I would probably explode.
It might be good
from the outside in. Now think about that.
I think it's implode.
Oh yeah,
it might be implode.
You're right.
What do you think, Josh? What's keeping you from reading manga?
I honestly, right now, it's just a matter of time. But I actually have some books that I purchased. So I'm just waiting to dive into them. So yeah, I my whole life.
Is it the one where the lady talks about she likes her big boobs?
What?
It's like Danica likes her big boobs. It's a manga.
No,
which one is that?
I have. I do have the first trade of My Hero Academia that I need to jump into. There is some Junju Ito. I'm gonna butcher the name.
Junji Ito.
Junju
Yes.
Ito.
Oh, sorry.
So I've got some of his stuff, and then because I'm a big flaming homo, I've got a book called My Brother's Husband that I'm gonna read because it won some awards. So.
First off, I want to say something. I want to say something to my friend Wes. Wes, you did read an American manga comic book recently.
There's no such thing.
I did.
No such thing
I've
as
read
an American manga.
You read what?
Ninja Blast. I've read the Common Americans.
Exactly. That's what I was trying to get to.
It's more
and
manga
you said it was
inspired.
what, sir? You said it was what?
Amazing. What do you want looking for?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a blast.
What is keeping you from reading manga, Doc? You got 5 minutes on this one, I know.
I have
Make
no.
it
I mean, I
three,
really,
though.
I have 5 seconds on it. I have no interest in it. None
Black and white's
whatsoever.
another reason why a lot.
I
of
knew
people
you were
don't
gonna say
read it.
Black and white art style, right to left reading, not shared. It doesn't have a complex shared universe. It's very linear storytelling. I can read a fucking novel. I'll have more fun. Sorry, I will.
All right. Keta says, Wes, I know we are past this topic, but I wanted to say your explanation for why they chose Ben Reilly in ASM 76 is so disrespectful. It's funny.
Is it Ben Reilly with the cool Spider-Man suit with the black?
Yes.
You know what I'm talking about? Oh, I have to read it. I enjoy Ben Reilly more than Peter Parker. Blast.
He did it again. He's gonna hit every person on the panel. He's gonna
Yeah.
piss off.
I'm sorry.
I
I'm
was
just
on your
different when I
side.
read this stuff.
Wes, you need to get Jay and Jimmy on to have a Ben Reilly love fest.
Well, and I
Jimmy
can bring
love
on
him
Yellow
too?
Flash. That's his favorite character.
So Jimmy love Ben Reilly too.
Yeah.
In Yellow Flash.
That's why
Yellow
me and him
Flash?
Snyder Cut brothers.
Yeah.
We Snyder Cut brothers. You know.
Oh man, Drew from Comics Elite. I hate manga with every fiber of my being, but the Guyver Bio Booster Armor is the only one that I've managed to like and consider good.
That's a good manga.
It sounds like one of the fibers of your being has a little hot spot for Guyver Bio Booster. So you're getting there, buddy. What if they got colored manga coming soon? It's coming. There's already a few of them out there.
Good.
Yeah.
I would almost consider it, but I'd still be doing the right to left reading and the lack of a complex connected universe.
Do you really consider Marvel a complex connected universe at this point?
No, what I
Complex
mean
as
is
in, what the fuck's going on? But
yeah, well, partly that, but where I actually
This
have
makes too much sense. I can comprehend what's happening. I can't even stand it.
linear storytelling is boring after a while. Sorry. It is. There's a reason why I read multiple novels at once. Like I got 4 novels sitting on my bedstand, on my nightstand.
Encyclopedia Brown. He's got, what else you got?
Oh, I like
Little
the
House on the
Encyclopedia
Prairie.
Brown.
Yeah,
the
of course. Yep.
The way he solves those mysteries.
I love that.
Some
Do you
Hardy
remember the one
Boys
where he got the
shit.
birds drunk? I love
No.
that.
Hardy Boy.
I do not remember.
No, but like the connected continuity with multiple things, multiple stories happening at the same time in different titles, and ignore the ones I don't give a shit about.
You don't read miniseries from like I don't know, Dark Horse or Image or anything like that, or ongoings that never are.
He reads Invincible.
No. I read Invincible, and that was it. That Invincible,
and it's the best comic you've ever read.
It's the best superhero comic of the 21st century, but it did have spin-off miniseries that are also included in it and crossovers with other titles.
Losing everyone.
Well, if you go to Black Hammer at Dark Horse, that's
like
a connected universe with several different books and characters.
I don't give a shit about horror.
It's not horror; it's superheroes.
Barely.
Have you read
I don't think
it's not horror. It's superheroes.
I thought it was in the Hellboy and BPRD.
No. It's completely different.
Okay.
It's actually superheroes.
Okay, never mind then.
You would probably like it. It's a little bit grittier.
Maybe
street level stuff. Like a dude will have a gag ball and stuff. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying, Doc. You got me right.
Okay,
what else we got in here? I will say this has been the weirdest chat we've ever had going on during one of the shows.
It's
Hit
usually
thumbs
like that
up
when I'm here.
Yeah.
If you've been destroying the chat, hit thumbs up.
Absolutely. If you're having fun with whatever arguments going on in there, definitely have some thumbs up.
I tried looking into that for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, I got nothing. I'm just nope. I have no idea what's even going on over here.
And then
everybody got distracted before.
Every time I thought I was figuring it out, I'd hear my name and be like, "Oh shit."
Kenneth Dowling says, "I've read Guyver Bio Booster and Dragon Ball Z." There you go, man. You need to read The Promised Neverland. That book is freaking amazing. That thing will throw you for a loop so hard in the first volume. You won't even see it coming, man. That's a good one. It's also on.
I want to say this though. I want to say this. If you enjoy Sin City, I don't see why you wouldn't enjoy manga. Did he do it again? Did he do it again?
I didn't give a shit.
Yeah, I mean, you can basically tell.
You didn't want to see Jessica Alba's stripping?
They got that type of stuff in manga, though.
Well, we're talking about the movie or the comic?
Well,
I'm talking about the comic. Thing, right? You can tell Frank Miller was heavily inspired by
strippers.
But no, he was heavily inspired by strippers and gangsters. That's what he was inspired by.
I know that, but I'm talking about the art style and the way he did the lines and all that type of stuff. That's
him being cheap.
No, he was all right. Let's not get.
I'm serious.
He was going for a.
You like Sean Gordon Murphy's art, right, Doc?
I do.
That's manga style art.
Somewhat.
It's manga.
Talk to Sean Gordon Murphy. He'll disagree with you.
Right, so,
I know I'm blowing people's minds right now because I'm talking about the legitionary Frank Miller. And don't get me wrong.
Mueller,
Frank Mueller, right? More at like Bernie Krigstein,
Frank Mueller watch.
And Wally Wood or Will Eisner, if you want to talk about Frank Miller in Sin City. And then, of course, you're like Dashiell Hammett type stuff as far as like the storytelling is concerned.
Now, don't get me wrong. The story is not manga.
I mean, if anything, it would be like Kurosawa more than just manga.
Yeah.
Is what I think.
But I'm just speaking on the art style. I'm not speaking on the story. The story is incredible.
Yeah, that's where the Krigstein comes in. Just trust me. Jay. I don't question your Scott Snyder or whatever.
Scott Snyder. He's the biggest Scott Snyder we have on this channel, man.
I'm a fan of Scott Snyder.
Ryan Wilson's got a good point. He says, "I don't think firepower is all that good. It's just okay." I agree with you. It is really
King B.I. I did not say Sin City was manga. I said it was influenced.
I don't think it's as influenced by that.
It's influenced
I just don't agree.
By black and white crime noir.
That's what I mean, yes. I mean, ultimately.
I do agree.
Whatever. Fatal Jay.
But let's be honest.
Blowing our minds, Fatal Jay. Keep going.
No, I'm gonna stop talking.
We got Link Graver. He says, "Hey, big thanks to all the panel contributors. I have started to be a contributor on a Hot Toys collector channel stream, and it can be tough. It absolutely can be tough. first of all, I'm not very good at this, and I can get really confused, and it's hard to organize everything. When you get a rogue element like Fatal Jay right here, you never know where you're gonna go. And then you got Josh. He's trying to be normal, but these guys are trying to drag him in all these stupid conversations. And Kerry's sitting there. She's trying to take care of her dogs and say praise for what's going on, to keep track of what's going on in the chats, and listen to all the bull crap that we're saying. It could be. This is a tough job. That's what I'm saying.
And Wes is just sitting there with that beep button for every time I say fuck.
I don't sense.
There's no beep button. There's no beep button, Doc. Oops.
Channel, but I don't care anymore. Fuck it. No reason.
What's up, Skip and Tosh?
Oh,
What's
Skip's
up,
in the house
Skip?
too?
Oh,
Skip in the house.
Came by the store a couple days ago, and we talked about all sorts of awesome comics. Yeah.
Did you send him? Did you sell him some manga?
No, I sold him some Matt Kent, I do believe. I forget, but
that's heavily influenced by Frank Miller
manga.
Yeah.
Frank Mueller's manga.
But Matt, did he get him Mind Management? That's the one he should get. Mind Management from Matt Kent. That thing is crazy. No, he doesn't.
Wait,
All right, Kerry. What's it like being a channel contributor? Is it hard?
Who, me?
Yeah, exactly. No,
I thought you were telling me.
It can be hard. Yes.
I know exactly how you feel. I'm sorry.
That's why I threw the dog outside. Ow.
Yeah.
Kenneth Dowling says, if you guys want to read a great Spidey comic, read Symbiote Spider-Man by Peter David. Consistently well-written, action-packed, entertaining book. Absolutely. All the volumes. I didn't read the King in Black one because it felt kind of stupid, but the Crossroads one right now is absolutely fantastic. What do you think about that series, Uel?
Oh, it's fun. It's really fun. I mean, you're not going to get anything really too deep, but what it's doing is it's taking you to a certain point in Marvel's history, and they're Spider-Manning it up. And like you said, it was the Crossroads, which is famous in an Incredible Hulk 300. He's gone so savage. Didn't you do a video on that one? Wes?
I'm sorry, I was reading something.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't worry about it.
What were you saying?
Incredible Hulk 300, he gets shunted off to the Crossroads dimension.
In the Crossroads dimension, absolutely.
Yeah, did you and Brain do something with that? Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, very good. Yeah. Trying to
build
those videos.
I got a message for Skip and Tosh. Scott Snyder is overrated.
That's right.
Yeah, okay. Skip probably knows that. Are you talking about Hickman? That's his writer. That's his boo.
Oh man, it's tough. It's tough supporting Hickman.
There you go. I don't know. So, what do you think, Uel, as a retailer?
Mm-hmm.
Is anything of this DC stuff exciting? Maybe DC Super Pets is the most exciting.
No, nothing looked really all that.
that.
It's such a grind ordering all the time comics and trying to figure out who's going to like them, and when you actually see the realization of them on your shelves, you're like, I bought this much. Doc, you're saying, well, don't get it. Just get the few for the ones that read it. There are, going to be customers that come in that didn't know, and I can sell it to them. That's the money that's lost if I don't have that stuff in the store.
I get it. A fool in their money.
That's fine. But, people were like, calling me about Superman recently, so yes, I will take a fool's money just like a smart person's. And I'm just saying, like, these are some of the other aspects to I would not like to get as many Batman books, but the realization is even the shittiest selling Batman book is probably better than unfortunately hardware, maybe something.
Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries, is that the
Batman Scooby-Doo Mysteries is awesome, but
it is good.
Better.
I love it, but
hardware does better than that one. But
okay, there you go. I found the bottom.
But it's there's so many other things that I would like to share with people, but they come in for Batman, they come in for Spider-Man, and then the flip side, if it's like an indie. If we're going to call it an indie book, maybe they only come in for those type of things. And I'll never be able to share an awesome Spider-Man story if there should be one. Yeah, it's just the way it is in the comic store.
So unfortunate. Obviously, Doc, you don't give a shit about any of this. You're just happy Tini Howard went to DC so she can write at Marvel less.
Yes. Just make her go away. I will shuttle her off. Like when Bendis left and went to DC, I go, okay, I don't care. If Jason Aaron goes, okay, I don't care. When
we already
Dan
got
Slott
Matthew
goes,
Rosenberg. We can't have Jason Aaron too. Like, come on.
oh no,
man.
no, I will give you all of the terrible writers to DC. You know, you already got Tom Taylor. I'm perfectly happy to lose him. Let's see who else. Oh, can we give you Dan Slott too?
No, big no. No.
Dan Slott's
You
an institution of Marvel Comics. Come on.
I don't know where I'd put Dan Slott on a DC comic. That's how
you give him
I don't think of
Superman
him
for the
over
next
there.
10 years.
You know,
For no
Dan
reason.
Slott's FF isn't the worst thing I've ever read.
It's not.
So he can do an okay book. He's just not
That
always
Iron
very
Man
good.
2020 was whew,
You know, yeah, I would agree with
it
you.
was rough.
But as a not Iron Man fan, I found it humorous and not so horrible. But you know, Pete Woods is okay.
But I can think
you
of
always try to look at the bright side of things.
No, not at all. I mean, I was really negative when you weren't around.
I can think of, you know what? You got Tini. Do you want Vita too?
She's
Leah?
already over at DC Comics. She's been writing
Yeah.
some Batman stuff for a while.
Leah can go too.
She's doing a Wonder Woman book. with,
Jerry. Take Jerry. Jerry's
no one
useful.
wants Gary Duggan.
Um,
No one knows how to say his name.
It's Gary.
Take Cullen Bunn.
No, he's doing
Actually, he's doing a good
Vault
book
work.
on Shadow Man, right? That's Cullen Bunn, right?
Fuck the
That's a
file.
good.
Shadow
That's a damn good
Craft?
comic book.
I don't even
Shadow
know.
Man from Valiant.
Oh, Shadow Man. That's right.
That's
Shadow
Cullen
Man,
Bunn, right? That's a really good book.
Okay.
Oh shit! Somebody in the comments just said they're going to send us Cecil Castellucci to Marvel. Fuck.
Perfect.
All right,
Now
maybe
we're
that's not a
talking.
good.
That's a trade right
The
there.
fair trade.
Big
How
trade.
about this?
Fair
Cecil
trade.
I want to
Castellucci.
give you all of our bad creators for none of your good creators or bad creators.
Oh man,
How about that deal?
I don't know who you're gonna have left. What?
I don't know. Are you
Marvel
optimistic
only
about any
needs
of
6
this?
comics.
What do you
They
think,
make-
Kerry? Are you optimistic about Bendis, Waid, Howard getting all these new books?
I'm never optimistic.
Feels like it's a
anymore.
bad omen for DC, right?
I'm never optimistic anymore when it comes to DC or Marvel.
Oh,
This is tough to be, isn't it? Fatal Jay, what are you reading?
his phone.
Are you reading your phone?
He's
He
probably
is
reading
reading
the
his
chat.
phone, isn't he?
Yo, Jay.
Yo,
Man,
Jay.
he's totally forgot about us.
Hi.
Completely
Yeah, y'all on
absorbed.
Frozen?
No, we were just watching you read whatever you're reading. Is that a magazine?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking about this burrito that I got in the microwave. I'm sorry. Y'all think I'm joking? My stomach is
No,
empty
we
right
I
now.
know
know
And
you're
you're
not
joking. I
joking.
know you're being
That's
serious.
You should get that
Funny,
burrito
it's
so we
funny.
can see inside it.
Okay, so
We
y'all
need-
asked me what comics am I reading? Did
Yeah.
y'all ask me that? Okay, this is what
we're
comic
not at that part of the show
No.
yet.
No.
Oh,
Wait.
We and new
Oh, what do you think of
Bendis,
this stuff?
Waid and Tini Howard comics at DC.
I
Jesus
don't care
Christ!
about Bendis. I don't care about Bendis. He the reason why I wrote my comic book, because all those speech bubbles is stupid. I don't read novels. I read comic books. Okay, I don't want all those speech bubbles. I don't care about every inch of detail of the story. I don't like Michael Bendis. He sucks. I don't like Waid because he sucks, because when it comes to Twitter, he always have to put stupid stuff on there and get mad at people. I don't like Waid. Now, who is Howard?
Tini
Tini.
Howard. Tini Howard?
Oh, I'm not familiar with them.
Yeah.
I'm not familiar. But I don't like Bendis though. I never liked Bendis.
Kenneth Dowling says, in the big two, their miniseries Superman 78 by Robert Venditti and Symbiote Spider-Man by Peter David are so much better than the main titles. Why are the best writers on miniseries instead of main titles? That's a very good point. I have no idea. It says Superman 78 is better than any Superman book they're putting out, and Peter David's Spider-Man stuff has been just superb for so long. It's crazy the way that works. Do you think it would help sales in the long run, Uel? They put better writers on these titles, or do you think the name helps?
It's not like, Peter David is,
An unknown.
well, he's not unknown to comic book fans, but it's not going to bring anybody to, the table probably, but it would be a very solid, well-written monthly comic book. And if that's something you're trying to do, I think Peter David's really, really good. Venditti also, when we were talking about who might take over Superman, I think that's who I threw out. And I like him a lot. I think he's a really good writer. We saw him on EXO when he was really first starting out.
Mm-hmm.
And his stuff is really good. There are really good writers in comics out there, but if they're not going to start getting these gigs that are going to keep them in, it's going to be them leaving to do something else probably. And we've seen that already. So they should give them some regular work, regular stories.
I'm with you. So I think that's going to wrap up the show. It sounds like Fatal Jay has been eyeballing that breakfast burrito for about 45 minutes.
I've been eyeballing it now.
That breakfast burrito sounds so good. Let's get on with this and talk about some comic book recommendations. Fatal Jay, what are you recommending this week?
I'm reading an awesome comic book from the 90s. It's a Deadpool miniseries drawn by Ken Lashley and Ian Churchill. It's 6 issues. Oh man, it's incredible. It has Deadpool in it. It has Banshee. It had Banshee daughter. It has a slew of characters. I just want to say this about Ken Lashley. I don't understand when we name our top tier artists, Ken Lashley name is never in that. Ken Lashley, I will put him on the same level as a Jim Lee. And yes, I said it.
He never had the reason why is because he never had that like ongoing run on a marquee tile. That's the reason why Ken Lashley never got that kind of notoriety, just because he never had that.
I wonder why though. Does it take too much time to draw like he does?
Maybe. I mean, he might have been slower, but he never had a Jim Lee X-Men, Liefeld X-Force,
I know what you mean.
McFarlane Spider-Man, Dale Keown Hulk, that kind of a run to really cement him as a household name artist.
Yeah. What's the name of the miniseries, Fatal Jay, if people want to check it out?
I don't just on the cover it just has it on the cover it just has Deadpool and it has X-Men limited series. It's just but it's drawn by Ian Churchill and Ken Lashley.
That was the one.
Can you describe the cover for me? What does the characters look like?
The cover got Deadpool. He's like real bulky and he has 2 katanas in his hand. And the background
does he have a gun
white.
on him? On his hip? Where's the gun?
No. It's just the top part. It's his torso and his head. The background is one. It's very generic. It's a good drawing, but it's just a generic pose. He got katanas holding him up like this.
Can you stand up and do it for the camera so we know what
to
look for?
Sir. Guess what? The only way you can see something like that if you join Fatal Jay's OnlyFans.
All right. So are you talking about Sins of the Past? Is that what it's called?
Starts out with Deadpool in a bar, and these soldiers come in and just start rushing in and just start shooting up the bar.
Okay.
It's
explain the whole story for us. Hopefully we'll figure it out.
It's Deadpool Volume 1. It was the one that followed the Circle Chase, but before his ongoing series.
Oh, okay.
Doc, I was hoping he was going to explain the entire story.
No, I didn't want to ruin it for people. I caught what you was doing.
Who wrote that one, Doc?
Oh,
let me look.
I don't remember. Oh, you know what? I think Waid wrote it.
He sure did.
Man,
awesome. And I just this Mark.
Interesting.
I just knew
the writer on this channel.
I knew which one he was talking about. I don't remember.
If you talk long enough about anything and you keep going, you'll probably say something against what you said earlier.
Nightmare X123 says, why is the West so uncreative when it comes to distribution and advertisements? Manga and doujin conventions are still happening via places like VR chat to imitate real conventions. Why is that? Why is that, Kerry? You're the manga expert. Why can't the West do these things as well as manga?
Well, I mean, doesn't the West in a way do that? Like, you're having the DC fandom coming up. I mean, it's
but
not
it doesn't
like
really
you
imitate a convention other than having panels. You don't get to interact with anybody.
True, but I don't know. I when it comes to DC and Marvel anymore,
I don't think they have a lot of money.
No, I don't think they have a lot of money, and I think they're too focused on other things than actually trying to advertise correctly.
Yeah, I think you're spot on, Wes. It's money and
Doc was right.
Yeah.
Josh,
Don't
I'm
say
sorry, but
that
Doc
on the
was right.
channel again, Fatal Jay.
Mark-
You ain't coming back. We don't
No,
say
look, I'm
Doc
sorry.
was right. That encourages
I'm
it.
sorry. I'm
That's
laughing.
That's the other
I'm
name
laughing
for the
because
show.
it was
the
Mark
show.
Waid.
It's
It was
the Doc
Mark
was
Waid.
right show.
It was Mark Waid.
Thank you
I
for the
like
Mark
comic
Waid
book.
recommendation. Kenneth Dalek
Wow.
says, on Peter David, I need to get his recent Hulk miniseries. I've heard Doc mention it. Absolutely. Maestro is phenomenal. Everything about Maestro has been off the chain. Doc?
Yeah, I mean, Maestro's the two Maestro miniseries are great. I'm looking forward to whatever the hell the third one is. No, they are great. I'm perfectly happy to keep going. That's why I'm always happy when Peter David writes something.
Absolutely. We got Infamy or Death all the way from Dublin, I believe. I recommend Clear. It's a great new digital comic from Snyder Manupul. This must be part of Scott Tober on Comixology. I love his art. Manupul is absolutely a gem, one of the better artists out there. Then Nice House on the Lake, Vampyverse, and Swamp Thing. There you go. Thank you so much for the recommendations. We got anything else in there? All right. Now that we've got the shit show that is Fatal Jay giving a comic book recommendation out of the way, we can get on with the channel. Kerry, what are you recommending this month or this week?
Well, I did mention before we went on live, I got Last Ronin. I really like that a lot.
That's a good one.
The second one is a manga, and it kind of debunks Doc's thing about not building a universe. It's My Hero Academia Vigilantes, which crosses over with the main characters from My Hero Academia. And the last one's also a manga. It's called Zom 100, about a zombie apocalypse and a guy who's very happy not to have to go back to work anymore.
We can all relate with that.
COVID.
Yeah, that would be a really good name for the channel, Debunking Doc. Just all the stupid shit he says, we just replay the audio clip and just break it down. This is why Doc didn't get it right. What do you think, Doc?
You could try.
Man,
You're gonna lose.
My Hero is one of the only ones like that.
Yes,
that's more like Western comics, but they're just kicking butt doing it also.
Yeah, I mean, look, I've heard great things. The style, the release format, everything about it. First of all, I don't like trades. I like floppies. Sorry, I like reading my books in chapter format. So reading, I've always found that, especially with trades and whatnot, it feels more of a daunting task to open it up and knowing that I have 150 pages to go instead of taking it 22 pages at a time. I feel like I'm making a commitment to something before I even know if I actually have any interest in making a commitment to it.
Doc's the guy when you're on the first date, he asks you, do I have permission for a kiss? And then can I hold your hand? Because
he writes a letter first and mails it out.
Yeah,
and
you can't just go in there and commit.
Definitely, I definitely do that and not just go for
text afterwards.
He's not ready for the commitment of getting the salad. He's gonna. Can I open the door for you?
Well, let me ask you one other question to play off that, Doc. You don't want to make a commitment, but when we're seeing more and more $10 issues of comic books, do you think that like a $10 manga isn't like pretty much the same thing?
It's
a lot bigger, more pages.
I'm not talking about the talking about the price.
I know. I'm just
entertainment dollars.
Yeah,
I'm just talking about the volume of material I'm already basically committing myself to read. Look, I'm this way with fucking television shows too. Even shows that I get like 3 episodes in and I hate. I'm like, God damn it! I at least have to finish this season.
Man, you should try out.
I finish up whatever I'm starting. I've done
awesome. That's a good contractor there. Get him to build your Pearl table or whatever it was.
We got Kenneth Dowling with his recommendations. He's saying Symbiote, Spider-Man, Crossroads #4, and Thor 17. Wes, I love Batman, but I agree with you. His training years is a played out to go out story. Leave it alone. I enjoy the mystery. Love the show. Take care, guys. You have a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. We absolutely appreciate you here. I hope we provided about 2.5 hours of pretty decent entertainment. And then, whatever time Fatal Jay took up, nothing I can do about that, right? Thank you very much, Kenneth Dowling. Who else have we got? We got Josh. What do you recommend?
My recommendations for this week are going to be pretty light. I enjoyed Batman the Imposter. Wes did not. It leans heavily into that realism, but I love the craft of the writing in that.
I found it miserable.
I could do a whole hour show about talking about the craft of writing and good writing versus bad writing, but I know other people wouldn't necessarily agree. Other than that, by sheer accident, I stumbled across a Scooby-Doo Guess Who cartoon. The first episode features Batman, and it's fucking brilliant. It's so funny. So if you have kids, go find it. It's on HBO Max. Watch it. I did not want to watch it. We did it as a group with the Batman News. We try to do little social gatherings, and I absolutely loved it. And Fatal Jay showing the cover of the Deadpool comic. I swear to God, y'all, my neighbor over here started mowing, so I muted my freaking microphone, and now my neighbor behind me is mowing. I am
awesome.
We haven't heard any of it.
I've been
Never
muting.
affected it.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Lion, I heard everything you said, bro.
Fatal Jay, what other Mark Waid comics are you recommending this week? You recommending Flash?
No, sir.
All right, Uel.
Yes,
I
sir.
think Josh is done. What are you recommended this week?
Amazing Spider-Man was pretty good. I thought there was a really nice emotional scene, and it was very well drawn. I thought that was well done. And then 2 weeks ago, I was talking to someone in chat, A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance with Rick Remender writing and Andre Araujo doing the art. Not a lot of writing, but it had that very John Woo, hard-boiled, chow yun fat kind of thing. I was talking to a customer yesterday about it, so I'm really happy to talk about it now. That was a good issue.
Agreed. I picked that up last week and read it late, and I thought it was excellent.
It was an easy read.
Yeah.
Kind of refreshing.
Yes.
That's it.
That's it. I'm gonna.
I think everyone's got recommendations. I'm recommending Justice League Last Ride #6. I think it's it's a great alternative. The Justice League is unreadable right now under Bendis, in my opinion. Chip Zdarsky's got a nice kind of alternate world. It's the Omniverse. You don't even know what's happening and when it's happening now, but that one's a pretty damn good story. Obviously, Symbiote Spider-Man and Blade Runner Origins. If you like the Blade Runner universe, they've got a couple of cool comic books right now, and I think Blade Runner Origins, which is telling the story before the movie, of kind of like the first introductions of the different synthetic humans and everything. I think it's been absolutely fantastic, and if you like that world, I think you'll enjoy it. I think we're all good here.
I didn't make any recommendations.
Oh damn!
That's fine. I don't actually have anything to recommend this week.
You recommended Mark Waid's Deadpool.
Fuck no, I wasn't. I was just answering I was just explaining what it was.
I thought you were recommending it.
Hell no. You couldn't pay me to recommend something with Wade's name on it.
What about
how much did they pay you, Fatal Jay?
How much do they pay me
to recommend a Mark Waid book on my channel? What did they pay you?
Did nobody pay me? That comic is actually good, so I feel so stupid for what I just said 20 minutes earlier.
You trashed the shit out of Mark Waid, and then he said, "You got to read this Mark Waid comic. It's awesome."
I got so caught up in the art and the story. It was so good. I never did look at the writer. So
it's like
I'm
escaped.
But I am going to go back and recommend reading Invincible again. Even if you haven't read it yet, read Invincible.
I say go watch the TV show and bypass the comic book.
I definitely agree with that one. The TV show is better. It's better.
Yeah, I said it that way. All right, everybody. We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Got a lot of great stuff coming up, and we'll see y'all later.
And
say it, Doc.
Ass
with bleach.
Okay.
Whoa, Wes just left. I hope you turned us off.
No, it's still live.
We're gonna get
we're
we're gonna a little bit longer.